Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Deku returned as the Iron Revenant Part 1. If you guys enjoy this what if and want to see Part 2, comment down below and let me know before I start. Please do support for more awesome content and leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also share this video with your friends and check out the description in my playlist. The author of the story, Nashor from Wattpad. So let's start the video. 𝗧𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲, twin brother of 𝗧𝗵𝗲𝗁. He was about to die in a dark corner of 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗵𝗲, Japan. His life was flashing before his emerald-colored eyes while BLD was leaking through the hole in his chest. In the final moments of his life, Izuku remembered the day that changed his life completely. Years ago, Inko, Izuku, Izumi, get ready. We are going to the hospital, she asked. Izuku, Izumi, we are here, the twins said together as they slowly walked down the stairs. Inko, are you too excited? The mother asked calmly, to twins. Izuku, yeah. Izuku shouted with excitement. Izuku, when I got my quirk, I will be a hero like All Might. He ended his words with a bright smile. Izumi, let's go, Mom. Izumi said with an impatient tone. Inko, okay, she answered her energetic daughter. The family got in the car and started going to the hospital for the quirk tests of the twins. After a few hours of tests, the twins are now waiting for the results to come. Their impatience was slowly overwhelming them. As soon as the nurse called their names, they both run into the doctor's room. Doctor, hello Mrs. Yagi, the results of the twins are here, and I have some news. A good and bad one to be exact. The doctor said while pointing at the chairs. Inko, what is the good news? She asked. Doctor, good news is your daughter has a strong telekinesis quirk, the doctor said to the mother with a happy tone. Inko, do you hear that, Izumi? Inko said to her daughter with a smile. Izumi, yes, I will be the best hero, she shouted, her voice filled with happiness and relief of having a good quirk. Then, Inko turns the doctor and asked. Inko, what is the bad news? She asked. She can imagine what the doctor might say, but she was praying on inside to be her guess was wrong. Doctor, well, Mrs. Yagi, your son Izuku is quirkless. The doctor answered the question with sadness in his voice. Izuku, no. It can't be true. There has to be a mistake. I can't be quirkless, shouted the boy, with a sad and denying tone. He didn't want to believe what the doctor said. Doctor, I am sorry, but that's the truth, the doctor said while lowering his head. He couldn't look at the boy's emerald-colored eyes. The doctor's room was silent now. Inko and the doctor was lower their head while Izumi didn't even care about her brother's condition. Inko, thanks for everything, doctor. Izumi, Izuku, let's go home, said the mother of the twins with a neutral tone while getting up from her chair. As the twins followed their mother to the car, nobody didn't even try to start a conversation. Izuku has just stayed silent for the whole ride. He was still trying to handle the pain and sorrow that came with what the doctor told him. When they arrived at their home, Izuku ignored his father and runs straight to his room with tears running down his cheeks. Tashinori, I was wondering when you three will return, so what happened at the hospital? He asked. Inko, Izumi has a strong telekinesis quirk, but Izuku is quirkless. Mother of the twins answered her husband's question with a little bit of sadness in her voice. Izumi, did you hear it, father? I can be the best hero, Izumi said while hugging her father with a big smile. Tashinori, that's great news, Izumi. So we should start training soon if you want a best. But today let's celebrate your quirk, the father said while returning the hug to his daughter. He was so happy now. He didn't think about his son. Izumi had a great quirk, so that's enough for him. Izumi, okay, Dad. I will show everyone I am the best, Izumi said with a voice filled with pride. She knew she could finally become the hero she was destined for. Her arrogance was filled her head so much. She didn't think about the green-haired brother like her father. While this is happening in the living room, little Izuku was alone in his room, crying while watching his favorite hero, All Might's video of saving people. Izuku was still in shock because of what he learned today. He was quirkless. He can't be a hero anymore. All of his hopes and dreams were shattered into million pieces. Izuku, why? Why me? Why this needs to happen to me? Izuku asked himself with red puffy eyes. He didn't notice his mother open the door of his room. "Inko, Izuku," she said while looking inside of his son's darkened room. Izuku tried to hold himself together while looking at the open door of his room to see his mother's worried look towards him. "Inko, are you all right, sweetheart?" she asked with a soothing voice to calm her little boy down. "Izuku, Mom, can I be a hero like All Might even without a quirk?" he asked his mother in tears. Inko doesn't know what to say now. She knew how hard it can to be a hero without a quirk to help him, while fighting villains or when saving the civilians. She didn't even want to think about how bad people will some people to him because he was quirkless. After all, in this society, your quirk determines how well your life be. If you are quirkless, then you are nothing. "Inko, I am sorry. Izuku," was the only thing she can manage to say. She hugged her son with tears on her cheeks. The mother and son sit like that for some time. Inko was thinking about what to do for his son while Izuku sat down without a single word. The next day twins are in the park, Izuku sitting along in the shade of a tree, while Izumi is talking with her friends, Katsuki Bakugo and Shoto Todoroki. "Katsuki, hey Izumi, what happened yesterday? What kind of quirks you two get?" the explosive blonde asked with curiosity. Shoto, "Yeah, I was wondering too," the dual-haired boy said with a cold tone like always. Izumi, "I got a strong telekinesis quirk, but Izuku is quirkless. I don't know what to do. He still thinks he can be a hero. We all know quirkless people can't be heroes." Katsuki, "Yeah, you are right. They should be sitting at their home and praise us while we do our job," said the explosive blonde, with confidence and arrogance was overflowing from his words. "Shoto, how about we use our quirks on him to make him give up so he can know his place?" asked the dual-haired boy. Izumi, "It's a good idea. We will show him how weak he is compared to us," Izumi said with a wicked smile. Katsuki and Shoto looked at her with a similar smile on their face. So the trio starts walking towards the green-haired boy sitting peacefully in the shade of the big tree. When they come in front of him, Izumi starts speaking. "Izumi, Izuku, do you still want to be a hero after learning you don't have a quirk?" she asked with a cold tone. Izuku looks up to see his sister and his two friends standing above him. He was still sad from yesterday, but his will and determination were still there, so he answered his sister's question with a happy smile. "Izuku, yes, I still want to be a he," his words interrupted by his blonde friend, with an explosion to his face. "Katsuki, give up Izuku, you are worthless, weak, you don't even have a quirk. How do you think to be a hero without one?" the blonde said, while sparks were coming from his hands. "Shoto, you are even more worthless than those people with weak quirks," Shoto said while freezing Izuku's legs and arms so he can't do anything. "Izumi, yeah, you are just Deku," she said, with all of her hatred on the last word. Then she punched Izuku on the stomach. Little Izuku doesn't even realize what happened. He has suddenly started getting beaten by his friends and his sister. He tried to resist, but his resistance was in vain. So he starts to do the only thing he can do, endure it to the end, but this was just the beginning of what will come in the future. That day, the trio sparked the flame that was sitting inside of Izuku. The fire that will fuels his hatred towards this world and his thirst for power. When they realize what they have done, it will be too late. After that beating in the park, when he comes home late with bruises and burns all over his body, his mother asked Izuku about what happened to him. Izuku told his mother what happened at the park. When Toshinori and Izumi come home after their training, Inko started shouting to Izumi about what they did to her brother. Izumi said they didn't do anything to Izuku. She continued defending herself by saying he was just jealous and probably he injured himself so he can blame her for it. She even told her mother she can ask Katsuki and Shoto about how they didn't even see Izuku today. How they three just play with each other. Inko didn't believe what Izumi said because he knew Izuku well. He is not the type of kid that can do something like that. So she looked at her husband to say something about it, but she was surprised when her husband defended her daughter about telling the truth. This was the start of the many fights that are going to occur. fights are going to destroy this family in time. That day, Izuku vowed himself to get stronger and erased his father, his sister, and his 2 friends from his memory. They are just nothing to him like he is nothing to them. Years after of Torture's life, 𝗵𝗂 and Toshinori got divorced. 𝗵𝗂 took Izuku while Toshinori takes Izumi. When they got divorced, 𝗵𝗂 told everything about herself and his ex-husband, how she is actually number 17 hero, Emerald Tornado, and Toshinori was number 1 hero, All Might. Izuku was shocked to hear about his but father was being his idol. After learning the truth, Izuku lost his faith in most of the heroes. Even the number 1 hero was like that. Then the others can't be better than him. Spark in Izuku's heart was turned into a bright flame that day, a fire that will someday destroy this wretched world. More years passed from the day. Izuku learned the truth about his family. He walked outside after finishing his homework and started doing his daily jogging. It was something he started a week after the first beating he got from his old tormentors. He quickly finished his jogging, then started walking towards his home. While still thinking about the thing motivating him to get stronger, his but father still found strength in himself to be called number 1 hero after everything he has done to them. Izuku still remembered every fight his mother defended him. Every time his father gets gifts for Izumi while ignoring Izuku's existence. Every time he leaves Izuku to starve at home alone while his mother is working as a hero. However, everything they did only filled Izuku with a stronger will and more determination. He needs to be the strongest because it was the only way he can do something. Izuku finally returned to his home to find his mother getting ready to leave with her hero suit on. She's just checking everything before leaving. Her focus shifted to Izuku when she heard him opening the door. Izuku, hey. Mom, are you going to work? Izuku asked his mother while cleaning his sweat with his shirt. 𝗵𝗂, yes sweetheart. I was just checking if everything is all right before I go. She answered while slowly walking towards her son. She smiled while looking at her son's developing body as he gets more muscular each day. 𝗵𝗂, you are getting stronger Izuku, I am proud of you, she said with her genuine smile, like always. Izuku, thanks mom. Still, I need to get stronger, he said with a determined voice. 𝗵𝗂, I know sweetheart. I will be late tonight, so I left food in the fridge for you, she said while opening the front door and taking a step out of the house. Izuku, okay mom. Be careful please, Izuku said while his mother started walking away. After she is gone, he closed the door and walks to the bathroom to take a shower. Few hours passed. Izuku was sitting at home playing games on his PC when he heard the sound of a notification on his phone. Izuku slowly turned his head to look at it. As soon as he read it, he ran to the living room and turned on the TV to watch the news with wide eyes. Newscaster, pro hero Emerald Tornado is under investigation. There are multiple accusations about her working with villains and intentionally endangering civilians. Now we will see what's the accused pro hero would say about these accusations together. Then the camera starts showing 𝗵𝗂 Midoriya in her hero costume. 𝗵𝗂, this is outrageous. These claims are just insane. I worked hard to be a pro hero. I spend countless hours fighting villains, saving people from disasters, and helping the injured people to get safety. I gave up on my personal life to be the hero. When the truth is revealed, everyone will see who is right, who is wrong. Then I am wondering, what are these people gonna do? As the screen returns to the newscaster as she starts speaking again. Newscaster, like you, all see dear viewers. She denied all accusations and challenged all the accusers. Investigation on the pro hero will continue in the coming days. When we'll get updates about it, we will be back. That's it for today's Izuku shuts down the TV thinking about accusations. He knew his mother never done these things, so why someone wants to falsely accuse her, and more importantly, who are those people? As Izuku starts wondering about these people while waiting for his mother's return. Because of the news, he lost his appetite. An hour later, 𝗵𝗂 returned to the home. Izuku looked at his mother. Her eyes are red and puffy from crying after today's event. Izuku walks to his mother and hugs her. The mother and son stayed like that for a minute in silence without speaking a word. They both sit on the couch, then Izuku finally broke the silence between them. "Izuku, it's gonna be alright, Mom. I know you didn't do those things," he said to his mother with a soothing voice. He knew how honorable a hero his mother was, so accusations like this hurt her even more. "Inko, thank you, sweetheart, it's just, I don't know why someone accuses me like that. Everything I did for people was not enough." Pro Hero asked herself while getting calmer thanks to her son. Mother and son stay like that for some time. It's like the old times, but the difference is now, the son was soothing the mother. At least they still have each other to calm them down even after events like this. Years passed from the eventful night. Inko's investigation was still ongoing even after all this time. People who accused her were doing whatever they can do to keep her investigation going. The mother and son knew this is just someone's twisted game to take everything they have. In this passing time, Inko's rank went down dramatically from 17 to 83. She lost quite the popularity on the polls because of this damned investigation. Her loyal fans were still defending her while Izuku doing his best to help her. Like everything happening isn't bad enough, All Might has started throwing shade onto his ex-wife as well. Him being the #1 hero made people believe what he said was the truth. He is the symbol of peace, so he can't be lying, right? Was the only thing they believe. Even to make everything worse, Izuku was in the same school as his old enemies. Izumiyagi, Katsuki Bakugo, and Shoto Todoroki. Like someone wants to make the mother and son's life miserable. The trio was messing with Izuku every day about his mother. They trash talk about her every day, and they even push other students to speak badly about her too. Izuku was furious inside, but he only gives simple answers to defend her, even how much he wants to beat them to death on the inside. Some time passed. In this time, trio started bullying Izuku again to satisfy their fragile but giant egos. They pushed him to pick a fight with them, but it didn't take that long till Izuku had enough of their annoying nature. So he stopped ignoring and starts to fight back instead. Izuku wasn't the same defenseless anymore. Through these years, he learned multiple fighting styles and how to use different close-ranged weapons with great mastery. His natural talent and skill, combined with his strong will, and make him a fierce fighter. The trio, unaware of these, unfortunately, had to learn this from the Ward way. Throughout the school year, Izuku and the trio fight multiple times. Even he was alone, Izuku was holding well against his 3 enemies. Times he loses, he still takes 1 or 2 of them down along with him. Every loss trio got was further fueled their hate for the green-haired boy. They can't simply believe the quirkless boy was going head-to-head with them and even managed to beat them. However, this isn't only something physical. In every aspect of the school, Izuku was challenging them. The trio only manages to beat Izuku's test scores because of the teachers helping them. They were giving them extra points while dropping Izuku's. Izuku was aware of this and even told the principal about it, but he didn't do anything either because they have powerful quirks and 2 of the 3 children's parents are top pro heroes. It is the launch time. Izuku was sitting alone in the corner of the cafeteria while eating his katsudon. He is still thinking about the last fight he had with the trio. He was analyzing their weaknesses and flaws in their fighting styles, well, if there are any. Generally, they are just random punches and kicks. Without using their quirks, they are nothing to Izuku. He can easily read their movements like a book. The problem arises only when they start using their quirks to counter him. While he was so deep in his thoughts that he didn't even notice his only friend was approaching him. He only gets out of his thoughts when he heard the voice of his best friend. "Hey Izuku, still thinking about the last fight?" a female voice asked the green-haired boy. "Hey Izuku, still thinking about the last fight?" A female voice asked the green-haired boy. Imagine her in a middle school uniform. Izuku doesn't need to look back to see who is the person talking with him. It's only can be one person. There was only one person who didn't ignore or try to harass Izuku. Her name is Momo Yaoyorozu. She is one of the top students of the school. She was an appealing girl with a powerful quirk. On top of it all, she is coming from one of the wealthiest families in Japan. Because of all these things, a ton of people wanted to befriend her, but she didn't care. Thanks to her mother's lessons. She knew most of them are just after her body or wealth. "Izuku, hey Momo, how are you doing?" asked the green-haired boy while ignoring her question. "Momo, as you know, boring lessons and annoying people, standard," she answered while sitting in front of him. "Momo, but you didn't answer my question, so I take that as a yes," said the raven-haired girl. The green-haired boy looks at his friend's onyx-colored eyes. He isn't surprised when she tells what he is thinking. Thanks to all the time they spent together and with the help of her observant nature, she can predict what he might be thinking. "Izuku, you know me well. That's why I didn't answer your question," the boy said with a small smile. "Momo, you didn't forget about our training today, do?" the girl asked. She knows Izuku doesn't forget about things like that, but she wants to be sure about it. "Izuku, of course I remember, don't worry about it. At your place after school like always," the green-haired boy answered. "Momo, good, see you later Izuku," she said with a happy tone while hugging her best friend. "Izuku, not if I see you first," Izuku said with a smile while he returned the hug to his best friend. After they broke the hug, both of them started walking to their respective classes. In his classroom, Izuku was looking out the window. The school was about the end. Other students getting ready to leave while Izuku was thinking about the raven-haired girl. They form a friendship, but, for Izuku, there is more to it. Last 2 weeks, he was thinking about her even more. He likes everything about her. Her intelligence, her beauty, her manners, and her strong will are just some of the things Izuku liked about her. Their similar thoughts about society, humans, and heroes were the only of the many reasons for their strong bond. Having someone who shares his ideas about how corrupted and evil this society is, how is the only thing people care about is fame and wealth. How for society quirkless peoples are just nothing and a waste of space. If a quirkless person and a person with a quirk needed the same medical treatment, the person with a quirk was always the first to get help. This rule applies to everything from finding a job to even getting adopted. Because if they had a choice, why someone wants a quirkless child? In this world, if you are quirkless, then you are always second to everyone for everything. This didn't affect Izuku because his mother was a pro hero. After the bell, he was about to leave, but he is stopped by his blonde-haired enemy. Izuku looked at the boy with anger while Explosion Quirk user decided to break the silence. "Bakugo, hey Deku. I know you are going to Ponytail's house, stay away from her," the blonde boy said with so much venom in his voice. "Izuku, it's none of your business where I go, you walking firecracker," Izuku answered with equal venom. "Bakugo, you don't deserve her, you Quirkless Bsrd," the Explosion Quirk user said with jealousy in his voice. He liked the Yaoyorozu, but she didn't care about him. This only angered him more because he was one of the top dogs in school, so she must want to be with him. "Izuku, it doesn't concern you who I am with. If you don't want to be sent to hospital again, I highly recommend you to shut the F up." Izuku yelled at him while walking out of the classroom without giving the blonde boy a chance to stop him, leaving the angry Explosion Quirk user alone inside. Izuku walks outside of school, where his friend was waiting for him. She saw Izuku and waved to him so he can find her. "Momo, you get out late. What happened?" she asked with curiosity. "Izuku, it's the firecracker just talking nonsense," Izuku answered with a calm voice, but hints of anger were present in it. "Momo, okay then, it's good he didn't try to start a fight again," she said with her usual calm tone. "Izuku, of course he didn't try. He was alone. He knows he can't risk it after the last alone fight," Izuku told with a little bit of pride in his voice. He was right at the end, in the last fight without anyone. Bakugo was beaten so bad, he was sent to the hospital with both of his broken from multiple places, so trying to fight with Izuku alone again was not a good move, unfortunately. Bakugo's giant ego and his short temper have become his downfall that day. "Momo, let's go, come on," she said with excitement, and both of them start walking towards Yaoyorozu Mansion. After 30 minutes of walking, two friends finally arrived at the Yaoyorozu Mansion. Izuku came to this place many times, but he was still impressed by it. Mansion was like a giant white castle in the middle of its own forest. After they got inside, both of them went to change their outfits for sparring. When they finished, both of them started walking towards the dojo inside the mansion. When they arrived, Momo created 2 metal bow staff and threw one of them to Izuku while she slowly took her stance. "Momo, are you ready, Izuku?" she asked the boy with a little bit of mockery in her tone. "Izuku, ready when why?" His sentence was interrupted by Momo's surprise attack. "Momo, come on then. Let's dance," she said with a smile on her face while attacking the boy relentlessly at the same time. Izuku saw the fighting passion in her eyes while blocking her attacks. Seeing her like that put a smile on Izuku's face as well, so he starts countering her attacks rather than blocking them. "Izuku, if that's what you wanted, come on then. Show me what you got," Izuku told her while his fighting passion filling his voice. Both of them are fighting with everything they got. The sound of the clashing metal has filled the dojo. Momo swung her staff 3 times with impressive speeds, but it wasn't enough. Izuku swayed aside from the first one, ducked the second, and parried the third. He spun inside her guard and hit her with a strong elbow on the right side of her face. She grunted from pain and fell to one knee. Izuku stopped and gave her a moment to recover from the blow. "Izuku, is that it, Momo? I was expecting more from you," Izuku asked the girl with a mocking tone. "Momo, you know me. I am not the kind of person who goes down that easily," she said while taking a deep breath. She got up with a smile. "Izuku, good, come on then," Izuku said with a visible smile while attacking her with a side swing. Momo blocked the incoming attack, but Izuku's assault wasn't over yet. He was attacking her relentlessly without giving an opening for a counter. Metal staffs hitting each other while constantly spinning at a fast rate. Both of them were looking for a mistake to get a clean hit on each other. After some time, finally, Momo got the opening she is waiting for with a sneaky move. She attacked him with a one-handed, normal-looking side swing, but Izuku didn't expect a second staff to hit his left side. He let a faint grunt of pain, but Momo didn't allow him to recover and hit his jaw from the right side with a strong swing of her staff. Izuku lost his balance and fell on his back. Momo uses this moment to go for the finishing move, but Izuku slipped her feet with a swipe of his leg, and in an instant, he got on top of her while locking her to the ground before she can do something. "Izuku, that was a great move. But it's over now," Izuku tells her while trying to stabilize his breathing. Momo tried to move, but she was locked in her place completely, so she just hit the ground with her hand 3 times to indicate she gave up. Izuku slowly lessened his grip on her to allow her to fix herself as their eyes locked with each other. His emerald-colored eyes, looking straightly into her onyx ones. They both stay like that for a minute, smiling at each other. However, this silence was cut short by the voice of someone watching them. "I hope I am not interrupting anything," said a female voice. Izuku froze in his place because of it, but Momo instantly recognized the owner of it. "Momo, what are you doing here?" the raven-haired girl asked while getting up from the ground with a blush on her face. "Because of what happened, my job finished early, so I decided to come home. I didn't know you have invited your boyfriend, sweetheart." The appealing woman answered her daughter's question with a calm voice. Izuku was started blushing while looking to the ground, and Momo's blush became even more apparent on her face after hearing what her mother said. "Momo, he is not my boyfriend, Mom," she answered her mother with a growing blush on her face. Izuku raised his head while getting up and looked at the woman standing in front of him. She has purplish short hair and smooth pale skin with a gorgeous face and a body that makes even Midnight and her models jealous. She has purplish short hair and smooth pale skin with a gorgeous face and a body that makes even Midnight and her models jealous. Art belongs to Millalal on DeviantArt. Mrs. 𝗖𝗎𝗎𝗄. "Hello dear. My name is 𝗬𝗵𝗲 𝗖𝗎𝗎𝗄. I am Momo's mother," said now named Pale Woman. "Izuku, nice to meet you, Mrs. 𝗖𝗎𝗎𝗄. I am Izuku Midoriya," he said while slightly bowing to the appealing woman, with a little bit of blush and a calm voice. "Mrs. 𝗖𝗎𝗎𝗄, so, you're that Izuku my little girl talks so much about," she said with a little bit of a teasing tone and a smile on her face. "Momo, I think we should change our clothes. Don't you agree, Izuku? How about you go to the shower up front?" Momo said while trying to stay calm. She knows how much his mother loves teasing her. So this moment was a chance served on a silver platter for her to do it. "Izuku, Yeah, alright, Izuku said and started walking towards the showers in the dojo at a fast pace. Momo, don't even start, mother, she said towards her smiling mother. She was already embarrassed enough. Mrs. Yaoyorozu. He has strong mana. Did you ever see him doing something big with it? Pale woman asked her daughter. She was impressed by the power boy holds. Momo, no. He probably even don't know about it. He only uses it passively while fighting. She answered, still thinking about the green-haired boy. His handsome face and well-built body. His fighting spirit and unwavering will. He was the first boy she got a feeling for. After she did some observing, she can feel there was a stronger connection between them. Like fate wants them to be together. She is dreaming about Izuku until she was returned to reality by her mother. Mrs. Yaoyorozu, do you going to tell him? She asked her daughter with a curious tone. Momo, tell him what? She answered her mother's question with a little shaky voice. Mrs. Yaoyorozu, about your feelings for him, of course. He clearly has something towards you as well, so don't get worried, she said with a little teasy tone and a smile on her face. Momo, I hate you sometimes when you read my mind, she answered her mother while pouting. Mrs. Yaoyorozu, I love you too, sweetheart, but you should go to the shower as well. We will talk about this later, she said with her usual teasing tone. It was obvious she has no intention of stop speaking about this soon. Knowing what will happen later, she sighed with defeat and started walking towards the showers as well. She starts thinking about what her mother said. Yes, she liked Izuku, but she doesn't want her mother to ruin her relationship again. She sighed again and cursed her mother. Normally she must not be at home today. She told her she will be back tomorrow, and even worse, they gave her the perfect teasing material. She left her thoughts and entered the shower hoping to relax and calm her head down for a bit. Mrs. Yaoyorozu. So, this is Inko's son. He looked like he doesn't know about me. I want to see his face when he learns about it, she thought to herself while laughing from inside. After 30 minutes, both Izuku and Momo were out of the showers wearing clean clothes. They are calmer now. Their embarrassment was gone and they were returned to normal. Izuku was about to go back to his home. He hugged his friend and kissed her mother's hand while bowing to the appealing woman. Mrs. Yaoyorozu, again, it was nice to meet you, Izuku. Please come more often. Maybe later we can talk more while drinking tea if you don't mind. I just want to know you a little better, she said with her appealing smile. Izuku, it was nice to meet you as well, Mrs. Yaoyorozu. I will if I can, but thanks for the offer anyway, he said with a smile of his own while slightly bowing again. Momo, goodbye, Izuku. See you tomorrow, Momo said with a blush while hugging again to her best friend. Izuku, see you later, Momo. Goodbye, he said while returning the hug. Before he can leave, Mrs. Yaoyorozu pulled him up close and whispered to him. Mrs. Yaoyorozu, please can you say hi to Inko for me and tell her I will visit soon, she said with a gentle tone. Izuku, do you know my mother? Izuku asked with a curious tone. He didn't know Mrs. Yaoyorozu and his mother know each other because his mother never talked about her before. Instead of an answer, he only got a smile. He was so curious right now and he is definitely gonna ask his mother about her. Izuku got out of the mansion and started going towards the train station to get back home while thinking about today. This was the first time he meets with Miss Yaoyorozu, but somehow, she knew her mother and even she seemed close with her. He keeps wondering about how they might be know each other while slowly walking towards the station. After 2 hours, Izuku finally returned to his home. After opening the door, he sees his mother making dinner while listening to music. She looked like she was in a good mood. The smell of the food was filling his nose and make him even more hungry. Izuku, hey mom. I am home, he said while hugging her mother from behind. Inko, hi sweetie. How was your day? She asked without looking back while still cutting the tomatoes. Izuku, well, today was an interesting day. I meet with Momo's mother today, he said while remembering the moment she caught them in an awkward position. Inko, is she was the girl you are talking about a lot? She asked while trying to remember the girl's last name. Izuku, yeah, she is. Her mother told me to say hi to you and she said, she will visit you soon. She was like, knows you. Do you two met before? Izuku asked. He is still curious about how she knew her mother's name. 𝗵𝗃, I am not so sure. What was her name? She asked. She was interested in this woman. She hasn't spoken with a lot of people in the last few years. Izuku, it's 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Do you know her? Izuku asked. When 𝗵𝗃 heard her name, she stopped for a second completely, and a dead silence has filled the house. Izuku, I take that silence as a yes. She is a friend of yours? He asked while one eyebrow raised, waiting for an answer. 𝗵𝗃, yes, she is a good friend of mine. I knew she has a daughter, but I didn't know you are friend with her, she said while smiling and returned to cutting the tomatoes for the salad. Izuku, oh good. Well, I have homework to do. I will be upstairs if you need me, he said while going to the stairs and started walking up to his room. 𝗵𝗃, well, this will be difficult to explain later. I hope he doesn't freak out when he learned, she said while sighing and returned her attention to making dinner. 3 days passed. It was Friday now. Momo Yaoyorozu was at home getting ready to go out to visit someone with her mother. She was wearing a long-sleeved loose white t-shirt and light blue jean shorts with red sneakers, while her mother was wearing a white cotton lawn shirt and black jeans with thigh-high suede boots. Her dark purple lipstick was the only makeup she has on her face. The mother and the daughter get in the car and Mrs. Yaoyorozu started speaking. Mrs. Yaoyorozu, this is the address for the place we are going to shun. How long it will take to go there? The pale woman asked while giving the address to the driver. Shun, it will take around 25 minutes, 𝗵𝗃. The driver answered to pale lady's question with a calm and gentle tone. The driver started the car and they get out of the mansion. Thanks to their luck, roads were open enough for a good ride. Momo, mother, who are we going to visit? She asked her mother with a raised eyebrow. Mrs. Yaoyorozu, you will see, dear. Just wait until we arrive, the appealing woman said to her daughter as they make their way towards a certain green-haired mother and son's house. While Yaoyorozus are coming towards Midoriya household, Izuku was changing his clothes. His mother said, her friend will be coming here for a visit. She asked Izuku to wear something clean. Izuku got up and go to his room to change his clothes. His mother was wearing a dark green sleeveless blouse with high-waisted white trousers. She tucked the bottom of her blouse inside the trousers while checking herself on the mirror. She was a naturally appealing woman, so she didn't need makeup. After looking at herself last time, she turned towards her son. 𝗵𝗃, how do I look, Izuku? She asked her son with a smile on her face. Izuku, you look appealing, Mom. If you are preparing this much, this person must be important to you, Izuku asked her mother with a curious voice. He has noticed the changes in her for a while now. She was smiling more and her pain from the still ongoing investigation was less noticeable. This mysterious person was influencing her life in a good way. He was wondering so much about who this person was. 𝗵𝗃, thank you, sweetie. But you should change your clothes as well. They are probably about to arrive soon. Izuku, all right. I will be back. Just tell me when they arrived, okay? He said to his mother while going to his room to find something to wear. At the same time, Yaoyorozus are about to arrive at the house of Midoriya's Momo was dying from curiosity. She sees something in her mother she has never seen before. She is smiling, but something was different with this smile. She looked like she was excited to see this person. She can't hold it anymore. She wants to learn about this mysterious person so much. Mrs. Yaoyorozu, you are probably wondering, who is this person? Don't worry, you are about to get the answers, but it can be little shocking to learn. So, I hope you are ready for it, the pale woman said with a calm tone. 5 minutes later, they arrive at their destination. Momo remembered this place instantly. They are standing in front of the Izuku's house. Her curiosity was at its peak. Her mother raised her hand and rang the doorbell. After a couple of seconds, the door opened by an appealing green-haired woman. She looked young and her body was a little muscular with faint small scars on her arm. 𝗵𝗃, you two finally arrived. Please come in, she said with a happy tone. She had a gentle smile on her face. 𝗵𝗃, Izuku, please come here, sweetheart. Our guests have arrived, she said while raising her voice enough so he can hear her. Then she turned towards the 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, welcome to our house. I am 𝗵𝗃𝗁, she said while bowing a little bit. Mrs. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁, hello dear. You look even more appealing today. I hope you two are well, she said while hugging the green-haired woman. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, we are fine, thanks for asking 𝗧𝗵𝗲. I suppose this is your daughter. Hello dear. Nice to meet you, she said while extending her hand to the young 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁. Momo, it's nice to meet you as well, Mrs. 𝗵𝗃𝗁. I am Momo 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁. I am a friend of 𝗧𝗂𝗃 as well, she said with a smile while shaking her hand. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, please dear, just call me 𝗵𝗃𝗁. At that time, 𝗧𝗂𝗃 comes down from upstairs. He is wearing an emerald green hoodie with black and white lines and black jeans. He was surprised when he saw Momo and her mother here. He smiled and greeted the 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁. 𝗧𝗂𝗃, hi. Momo, Mrs. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁, welcome to our house. Please act like at your own home, the green-haired boy said while slightly bowing like his mother. Momo, hi 𝗧𝗂𝗃, she said with a smile and a little bit of blush on her face. Mrs. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁, hello dear. I see you well, she said with her calm tone. 𝗧𝗂𝗃, thanks Mrs. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁. I better now. Mrs. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁, I suppose you two so curious now. How about you two sit while we answer your questions, she said while gesturing to the couches in the living room. 𝗧𝗂𝗃 sits on the couch on the left, and Momo sits next to him. 𝗵𝗃𝗁 and 𝗧𝗵𝗲 are sitting next to each other on the other couch. Both Momo and 𝗧𝗂𝗃 share a look and nod at each other before returning their gaze at their mothers. 𝗵𝗃𝗁 takes a deep breath while 𝗧𝗵𝗲 was sitting with a smirk on her face. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, well, here it goes nothing, she said from inside and looked at 𝗧𝗵𝗲 sitting next to her. The pale woman nodded to her, returned her look towards their children's. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, we gathered here today because we will tell something important to you too, she said with a shaky voice while stuttering. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, her words cut short by the purplish-haired woman sitting next to her. Mrs. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁, hello, 𝗧𝗂𝗃. I am 𝗧𝗵𝗲 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁. I am your mother's girlfriend, she said while kissing the green-haired woman from her lips, turning her face completely red. 𝗧𝗂𝗃, her what? 𝗧𝗂𝗃 shouted with a shocked voice. 𝗧𝗂𝗃 nor Momo has not expected something like this. Both of them think this visit is about them and their friendship, but this was something that came out of nowhere. The answer they get only brought more questions about the two mothers' relationship with each other. Momo, well, this is certainly unexpected, she said while trying to comprehend what her mother said moments ago. Her thoughts are rushing to her head so fast she didn't realize she was murmuring to herself. 𝗧𝗂𝗃, now how? And when? 𝗧𝗂𝗃 asked the question both of the teens wants to ask for their parents. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, it started 5 months ago. I was reading a book in a cafe. I encountered Tashinori while patrolling that day. He was with a woman, and they are buying things for a baby. I just remembered everything that happened, everything he did to us, and he is still living normally without caring anything. I was deep in my thoughts. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 came towards my table to introduce herself. She said she can feel my bad mood and asked if I wanted to talk about it. I was depressed, I want to talk with someone, so I agreed. That day I was so relieved to finally open myself to someone. It felt great. We exchange our numbers and we kinda start dating. We meet somewhere to eat something and go shopping or go to a park to talk about ourselves. After some time, I start feeling something towards her. I want her to be always at my side. 𝗵𝗃𝗁 answered her son's question. She wanted her son's approval of their relationship. 𝗧𝗂𝗃 is sitting without a word. He is happy for his mother finally found someone she liked. He knows she needed a person like this in her life and he is behind her decision. He has no problem with this person being a woman, but the person was the mother of the girl he loves. 𝗧𝗂𝗃, look, I have no problem with your relationship with Mrs. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁. It's fine for me if you love her, you can marry her. I am happy as long as you are. 𝗧𝗂𝗃 said to her mother with a calm voice while smiling at his mother. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, thank you for understanding, 𝗧𝗂𝗃. I was worried you may not like it. Because after many years, one day your mother says she loves a woman now, might be too shocking for you, she said with relief of his son's approval of their relationship. 𝗧𝗂𝗃, Don't get me wrong, I am shocked, but the shocking part is the person is being Momo's mother. Not because the person was a woman. Momo, honestly, I am shocked as well. I never expect something like that from you, Mom. Momo said to her mother with a calm voice. Mrs. Yaoyorozu, I know, but unexpected things happen in this world all the time. I was thinking talk with you about this, but after we learn about your relationship, we think it can be the best we both tell you at the same time. So we can talk about you two as well, she said with her usual calm tone. 𝗃𝗀, we both know you two love each other. Maybe this can be a chance for you two to talk about your feelings. With that, now the topic was the feelings of two teenagers for each other. Teens looked at each other's eyes. They know what is coming. The moment they are waiting for. Izuku, Momo. Izuku said with a gentle tone as he holds the raven-haired girl's hands. Momo, yes, Izuku, she answered while grasping his hands. Izuku, I love you, Momo Yaoyorozu. Would you please go out with me? Izuku asked while finally telling the thing he wants to say so much. Momo, I love you too, Izuku. Yes, I would go out with you, she said with a happy smile while a tear of happiness rolling down her cheek. She comes closer to Izuku as he does the same. Now they are staying like at the dojo, just inches apart from each other as they got slowly even more closer. Their lips finally touch each other and they kissed with passion and love. Teens were enjoying the appealing moment that they are waiting for to happen. The new couple breaks the kiss after a minute. They looked at their eyes with relief and happiness of being together now. While the teens, enjoying this moment, the mothers start to talk with each other. Asami, I told you there is nothing to worry about. Look, it went fine. Now they are together. We can be together more as well, she said while kissing the green-haired woman's cheek. 𝗃𝗀, you're right, she said while turning towards the pale woman. 𝗃𝗀, I love you, Asami. Asami, I love you too, 𝗃𝗀. She smiled and kissed the green-haired woman from her lips. After the couples shared their moments, everyone returns to normal. They ate the food 𝗃𝗀 prepared for them at the table. They talk about two mothers' relationship more. Their dates, what they do, places they visited, etc. The teen couple listens to their mothers until the sunset. The next day when Izuku wakes up still sleepy, he rubbed his eyes. When he looked to his side, he found Momo sleeping beside him. Her head was on his chest. Izuku smiled and kissed her forehead while gently caressing her cheek and hair. Izuku, hey, appealing, wake up. It's already morning, he said with a calm and low voice. Momo slowly waking up, stretched and kissed the Izuku. It's the best sight for her to wake up, the man he loves sleeping beside her while caressing her hair and waking her up with a kiss. Momo, morning love, she said while kissing Izuku. Izuku, did you sleep well? He asked the raven-haired girl while holding her. Momo, yeah, it's the best sleep I ever had. Momo answered with a smile. Izuku, how about going on a date today? Izuku asked. Momo, a date, huh? All right, but let's cuddle for now. She smiled and pulled Izuku closer. While the young couple in their cuddle time, 𝗃𝗀 wakes up with someone beside her, and her head was on something soft. She looked up a little to see Asami sleeping naked. Memories of the appealing night they spent came back to her. She really missed these nights because of Asami's job and her hero work. They couldn't spend that much time in the last couple of weeks. 𝗃𝗀 smiled and kissed her to wake her up. Lemon 𝗃𝗀, my love, wake up please. We need to make breakfast, she said while kissing Asami's body from different places. After a couple of seconds, the pale woman waked up from the pleasure of her lover's kisses. She stretched for a moment and hugged tightly to her lover. Asami, I know you don't like to skip breakfast, but for today let's enjoy the morning. We can eat later, she said while kissing 𝗃𝗀. 𝗃𝗀 stopped for a moment, but quickly she returned to kissing Asami's body. She doesn't need to answer with words. Her actions can answer just well. The appealing woman's body twitched from the pleasure. She understands what 𝗃𝗀 implying to last night was great, but it's not enough for them. Asami usually has the intent to play rough with 𝗃𝗀, but they can't do that last night because Izuku and Momo are at home with them. After seeing 𝗃𝗀's playful mood, she is, of course, not going to waste this chance. Asami, hungry for more, I see. Go on then, pleasure your emissus. She whispered to the green-haired woman with a stuck voice. She starts touching her body and kissing her from different places as well. Charmed by her words, 𝗵𝗀 starts doing what she asked. She goes down in bed and slowly goes up while kissing her legs and thighs until she comes to her pages. She slowly kisses and licks her while giving 𝗬𝗵𝗲 an insane pleasure while moans of the pale woman filled their room. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 holds 𝗵𝗀's head with her hand, pushes her even more. 𝗵𝗀 suddenly feels a tongue on her 𝗵𝗃 as well. She twitched from the sudden pleasure. She looked down to see 𝗬𝗵𝗲's clone doing the exact thing she is doing to the real one right now. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, do you think I would leave my beloved 𝗵𝗀 out from this great pleasure? She said while patting 𝗵𝗀's head. 𝗵𝗀 keeps going with what she is doing while another clone puts her tongue in the green-haired woman's, but while another one starts sucking her 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 and 𝗕𝗫𝗍 the other one. She twitched again and give a slight 𝗕𝗵𝗲 from the pleasure she is getting right now. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 was always good at this than she ever could because of her clones. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, I am leaking 𝗵𝗀. Drink every single drop of my nectar. She said while and pushing 𝗵𝗀's face on her 𝗵𝗃 as her fluids flowing her mouth. As she ordered 𝗵𝗀 hold every drop and swallowed in front of her eyes to see. A smile appeared on the pale woman's face while 𝗵𝗀 is drinking every drop of her love. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, good girl. Now it's time for your reward. She said with a stuck tone and kissed the green-haired woman on her lips. The clone that was satisfying 𝗵𝗀's 𝗵𝗃 is disappeared, and real 𝗬𝗵𝗲 took her place. While other clones, still playing with 𝗵𝗀's butt and melons. After a couple of minutes, 𝗵𝗀 come on her lover's mouth as she collapsed from the insane pleasure. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, that was great. Your nectar is sweet as you are, my love. The pale woman said while kissing 𝗵𝗀's back and slowly going up, kissing her shoulders and her neck as well. As the older couple keep going for some time as just one round wasn't enough for them. While this is happening, the younger couple fell asleep again. As they dreamed about their first date, the young couple wakes up in each other's arms. They usually don't sleep this much, but for today, they made an exception. After they got out of bed, both of them go to the bathroom, they wash their faces and use the toilet if needed. They go to the kitchen to see their mothers already up, making breakfast. If you can call it breakfast in the middle of the day. The two teens go into the kitchen to greet their mothers and help them for breakfast. While they are eating, 𝗧𝗂 stopped for a moment. He is so used to being only with his mother, now 2 extra people felt weird to him. This feeling was awkward for him, but it was good at the same time. Woman he loved sitting beside him, while his mother's sitting in front of them. 𝗵𝗀, what happened to 𝗧𝗂? The green-haired woman asked his son. 𝗧𝗂, nothing mom. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, do you two have planned something special today? The pale woman asked. Momo, we think going on a date today, the raven-haired girl answered her mother. 𝗵𝗀, that's great. Do you two need anything for your date? She asked. 𝗧𝗂, don't worry mom. We planned it. 𝗧𝗂 answered her mother with a smile. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, all right then. If you need anything, just call 𝗵𝗀 because I need to go somewhere today to get something, and come to the mansion after your date. She said with her calm tone. Momo, what are you going to get, mother? Momo asked her mother with a curious voice. She is like hiding something from her. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, you will see it tonight, sweetheart, she said while sipping her tea. After breakfast, 𝗧𝗂 and Momo got up and get ready for their first date. 𝗧𝗂 wears a black shirt and blue jeans, while Momo makes herself a white sweater and black jeans. When they are ready, both of them walk outside to see a driver waiting for them. Momo told the driver to go to 𝗘𝗁𝗍𝗺 Ward shopping mall. While they are on the road, 𝗧𝗂 was deep in his thoughts. Momo kissed 𝗧𝗂's cheek and put her head on his shoulder while holding his hand. Momo, what are you thinking, 𝗧𝗂? She asked her boyfriend. 𝗧𝗂, I am thinking about yesterday, Momo. I mean, we are dating now, and it looks like we are going to be step-siblings as well. He answered while kissing Momo's hand. Momo, yeah. I was shocked too. I didn't expect this from my mother, but at least we are closer now. I mean, they looked happy together. The raven-haired girl said. She remembered 𝗧𝗂's face when her mother reveals the truth to them. 𝗧𝗂, you're right. I am happy my mother found someone she needed this. Sometime later, The couple arrived at the mall, and they go to an arcade to have some fun. Momo was surprisingly good at these games, thanks to her great reflexes and eye-hand coordination. Sometimes Momo won, sometimes Izuku won. Competing like this was so fun for them because it makes them feel alive. 2 hours later, now the couple was walking towards the new restaurant that opened weeks ago. Momo was a little bit sad because of the last air hockey match they played. Izuku won the match at the last second. Because Momo thought time is over and relax for a second, but she didn't account for Izuku's final attempt, and in the end, she lost. Seeing this, Izuku put his arm around her shoulder and pulled her closer to him so he can give a kiss of morale to her. Izuku, come on, Momo. You can't be still thinking about the last match. He said and kissed her cheek. Momo, I lost because of the one mistake at the end. It just frustrates me. She answered and kissed his boyfriend back. Izuku, it's alright Momo, you still played good, it can happen sometimes. Let's eat something and go shopping for some clothes, maybe it can cheer you up. He said with a smile while pulling Momo aside on walkways and kissed her on the lips. After 30 seconds, couple breaks the kiss. Momo, fine, but I will settle the score on our next date, okay? She said while pouting. Izuku, we will see, but for now, let's eat something. Izuku said with a smirk. Both of them start walking towards the restaurant again, while a blonde-haired boy and a girl with green hair watching the couple. These two persons were Izumi Yagi and Katsuki Bakugo. They are watching them since they leave the arcade. Both of them just find them from pure coincidence. The duo had different feelings towards the thing they saw. Bakugo was furious. He wanted to kill Izuku more than anything now, while Izumi was in denial that his quirkless brother finds a great girl like Momo Yaoyorozu. She thought Momo is only using Izuku, but her thoughts quickly changed. While the couple is walking, the duo continues to follow them from a distance. After 15 minutes of walk, they arrived at the place. The restaurant looked good from the outside. There are people inside, but the place isn't crowded. Looking around for a minute, they found an empty table in a good place. They both sit, and the waiter comes shortly after to give them the menus. Waiter, hi. I am Aki. I will be your waiter today, she said with a gentle tone and a smile on her face. Izuku and Momo take a look at the menus, trying to find something they like. A minute later, they both decided on what they will eat. Izuku, I want a bowl of katsudon with an iced tea and a lemon cheesecake, Izuku said while giving the menu back. Momo, I want the same thing, but I want a chocolate cheesecake, she said and gave her the menu as well. Waiter, alright. It will be ready shortly. She smiled and bowed a little bit and goes to other tables. As the couple waits for their food, they start talking about school and other students, etc. While they are talking, Momo feels like something is watching them. She looked around with her eyes. Izuku noticed Momo's look around. Izuku, Momo, what happened? The gray-haired boy asked. Momo, I think someone is watching us, she answered with a low voice. Izuku, watching us? I think I know who, Izuku said while looking into the raven-haired girl's onyx eyes. Momo, who? She asked. Izuku, I saw Izumi's face a little and looked like Bakugo is here too, Izuku answered without looking towards the duo. Momo, what are those two idiots doing here? Momo asked with a little present anger in her voice. Izuku, I don't know. They are just probably watching our date. I can imagine Bakugo is furious now. Momo, why? Isn't he always furious? She asked. Izuku, he likes you and we are being together, probably making him angrier than usual, he said with a calm voice. Momo, wow. He is really persistent. I thought refusing him 2 times will be enough, but, oh well, she said with a mocking voice. Izuku, he proposed you? Izuku asked. Momo, he thinks I will be with him because he has a strong quirk 𝗬𝗓𝗊𝗲, she said with disgust in her voice. Izuku, ignore them. If they try to do something, just let's get out. I don't want to waste time with them, he said with a calm voice. Momo nodded and they wait for the food. 2 minutes later, their katsudons arrived. Both of them start eating fastly to replenish all the energy they used in the arcade. After they were done eating, they pay for the food and go to shopping for clothes. A couple of hours later they bought a lot of clothes. They choose some of the clothes themselves, and some of them choose by each other. The couple had a lot of fun on their first date, and they get in the car waiting for them in front of the mall. So like that, they are going towards 𝗖𝗎𝗄𝗧𝗵𝗲 mansion for tonight's event. After the drive to the 𝗖𝗎𝗄𝗧𝗵𝗲 mansion, Izuku and Momo are now sitting in her room. They both enjoyed their first date. While the two talking, Momo's got a phone call. Izuku, who is it, Momo? He asked. Momo, it's my mom, she said while answering the call. Momo, hi mom. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, hi sweetheart. How was your date today? She asked her daughter. Momo, it was great. We had a lot of fun, she said with a smile. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, good now. I want you two to get a bath and wear something good. Some of my and 𝗵𝗃𝗁's friends will be coming tonight. Just you two don't go over the top. Momo, okay mom. Don't worry, anything else? 𝗬𝗵𝗲, that's all for now dear. See you two tonight, she said as she hangs up the call. Izuku, so what did she say? Momo, we need to wear something nice because there will be people coming tonight, Momo said as she kissed Izuku. Momo, and she said we need to get a bath before doing that. Her voice suddenly changed to a stuck tone. Izuku, let's get going then, Izuku said while picking up Momo, bridal style, and start walking to the bath. Momo, are we going in together? Izuku, do you have something to say about it? Momo, no, she said while kissing Izuku as the two entered the bath to relax and have some more fun, to pass some time at home. A couple of hours passed, and the sun is already down now. Izuku was wearing a white shirt and black jeans while Momo was wearing a white shirt with a red skirt. 𝗵𝗃𝗁 already came 2 hours ago and changed her clothes. She was wearing a short emerald green dress with white trousers. An hour later, 𝗬𝗵𝗲 came home too. She has some little bags with her. The pale woman rushed to take a bath after greeting her family. 20 minutes later, she comes down while wearing a black blazer with a dark purple shirt inside and black trousers. Everyone is ready now for the guests. Not long after, guests are started coming. An hour later, everyone arrived at the mansion. There are not that many people. Most of them are CEOs of other companies that working with 𝗬𝗵𝗲. Other peoples are Izuku's mother's friends from her hero work. Izuku recognizes some of the people in the crowd. Midnight, Eraserhead, Ryukyu, Best Jeanist, and Snipe were 𝗵𝗃𝗁's friends. There is also UA's principal, 𝗵𝗍𝗁. Momo told Izuku that her mother and 𝗵𝗍𝗁 were good friends from the past. Izuku nodded while asking Momo why they didn't wear something more appropriate for this kind of party. Momo replied to the green-haired boy that her mother doesn't like people wearing super fancy things because it forces people to shade their true colors. Then the young couple starts talking with some of the heroes in the room. Izuku is talking with Eraserhead or known as 𝗧𝗏𝗍𝗏 about other heroes and villains, while Momo is talking with Ryukyu and Midnight about her relationship with Izuku. 𝗵𝗃𝗁 is talking with Snipe and Best Jeanist. At the same time, 𝗬𝗵𝗲 is talking with 𝗵𝗍𝗁 and the CEOs in the room about business. An hour passed, and some of the people were left the mansion because of their lives or they need to attend more businesses tomorrow. Just the heroes, 𝗵𝗍𝗁, and 2-3 CEOs, and some of 𝗬𝗵𝗲's personal assistants were left along with Endeavor and Shoto that arrived about 20 minutes ago. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 walked in front of the remaining people and coughed loudly to get the attention of everyone. 𝗬𝗏𝗏, now I want to talk about why I made this little party. The truth is, this party's purpose was to tell all of you about something important for me. Well, actually rather more to ask a question to someone, she said while slowly walking towards 𝗵𝗃𝗁. Everyone looked at 𝗬𝗏𝗏, who is now standing in front of 𝗵𝗃𝗁 Midoriya. While everyone is silently waiting for 𝗬𝗏𝗏 to say something. 𝗬𝗏𝗏, 𝗵𝗃𝗁, I'm going to ask something that I've wanted to say for quite a while, the pale woman said as she got down on one knee in front of her. 𝗬𝗏𝗏, 𝗵𝗃𝗁 Midoriya, will you marry me? 𝗬𝗏𝗏 said to 𝗵𝗃𝗁 as she pulled a small black box. Inside the box, there is a appealing engagement ring. The ring has a giant diamond and 2 smaller ones on the sides. Even the small ones are enough for an engagement ring of its own. Everyone is shocked by this as they don't know about this relationship. Even Izuku and Momo were shocked, as they didn't expect this to happen a day after They tell them about their relationship. 𝗵𝗀 is crying from happiness. 𝗵𝗀, why yes 𝗧𝗵𝗲 will marry you. She hardly said as her tears running down on her cheeks, while 𝗧𝗵𝗲 is putting the ring on her finger. 𝗕𝗏𝗏 isn't happy because he is trying to get an arranged marriage with 𝗧𝗵𝗲 for a while. At the same time, marriage between Shoto and Momo. Other people were congratulating the couple as 𝗕𝗏𝗁𝗍𝗫 stood at their place without a word. 𝗕𝗏𝗏's plan is gone now because Momo already refused Shoto's proposal multiple times, and 𝗧𝗵𝗲 isn't going to accept something that Momo didn't want. Him marrying 𝗧𝗵𝗲 was the only way for 𝗕𝗏𝗏 to get what he wanted, until today. As the number 2 hero leave the mansion defeated. Months later, Izuku, are you excited for today, Mom? Izuku asked his mother. 𝗵𝗀, yes, Izuku. I am really excited. The green-haired woman answered while looking at her wedding dress. 𝗵𝗀, honestly, I thought I will never wear one of these again. She said while Izuku, yet here you are about to wear one, he said as he hugged his mother. Izuku, we have an hour, so get ready, he said to his mother and leave the room. 𝗵𝗀 is still looking at her dress. It was made by one of the most famous wedding dress designers, and the dress was made from the highest quality materials money can buy. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 did not go cheap on anything. She hired the best people in Japan for anything that must be done. They are going to marry in one of the most famous gardens in Japan. 𝗵𝗀 smiled when she thought about everything 𝗧𝗵𝗲 did for her. Thanks to her new family, 𝗵𝗀's life was getting better in the last couple of months. Her hero rank raised quite a bit and she has fewer problems that she needs to care about. Not only hers but Izuku's life was got better as well. He now has an appealing girlfriend that supports and helps him with everything. He is one of the top students in his school, even he is not acknowledged by everyone because he is quirkless. That's aside, now they are happier than ever. 𝗵𝗀 shed tears of happiness because she thought she will never recover from everything that happened in her life, but she recovered. Her thoughts were cut by her maid that 𝗧𝗵𝗲 ordered to help her for today. Aki, 𝗵𝗏𝗏, are you all right? The young maid asked with a curious voice. 𝗵𝗀, I am fine, Aki. Don't worry about it. I am just happy, that's all. She answered the young maid while wiping her tears. Aki, we have an hour left. You should be getting ready, the young maid said to 𝗵𝗀. 𝗵𝗀 nodded to her and started getting ready for her wedding with the help of Aki. She wears her dress while Aki is braiding her hair. After she is ready, 𝗵𝗀 opened a box with a pendulum necklace inside of it. It was 𝗧𝗵𝗲's gift to her. The necklace has an appealing white stone on it that around 3 inches and emitting an aura that only visible from up close. 𝗵𝗀 slowly took the necklace from the box and wore it. Imagine this necklace with a white stone. Imagine this necklace with a white stone at the same time. While 𝗵𝗀 is getting ready, 𝗧𝗵𝗲 is getting dressed as well. She is wearing a white tuxedo with a black rose boutonniere pinned on it. She never liked wearing a wedding dress because for her, it was too uncomfortable. She looked at herself in the mirror. She never believed she would fall in love with someone, yet she is about to get married. Finally, her life is getting better after all these years. She smiled and walked out of the room. Now the time is almost up, and most of the people are here waiting. 𝗧𝗵𝗲's workers, assistants, and some of the heroes she worked with were her alongside 𝗵𝗀's friends. Midnight, Ryukyu, Eraserhead, Snipe, Best Jeanist are all here with Nizu. The white stuffed bear-looking humanoid creature was happy for his old friend finally got some happiness in her life. He smiled while thinking about the past as his eyes caught on 2 teens he knew from before. The girl was Momo Yaoyorozu in her appealing red dress, and the other one was Izuku Midoriya in his green suit. Izuku art belongs to Shite on Deviant Art. Izuku art belongs to Shite on Deviant Art. Izuku art belongs to Shite on Deviant Art. Momo. I can't believe 4 months is already past, Zuku, she said as she looked into her boyfriend's eyes. The last couple of months really went fast for her. At least she was with Izuku most of the time, going on dates with him and having fun. For her, it was like a dream. Izuku, I can't believe either, Momo. Time is really passing fast when you are with your loved ones. Izuku smiled and kissed his girlfriend's cheek. He looked at his lover's dress. She was gorgeous. Izuku, you look magnificent, my love. I can't take my eyes from you. he said as he put his hand around her waist and pulled her closer. Momo, you look so hot as well. I hope no one tries to take you away from me, she said while getting even closer. Izuku, don't worry. No one can take me away from you, Izuku said as their lips connected for a quick kiss. Finally, the time has come for the ceremony. Inko and Asami came through the doorway as everyone got up. The couple slowly walked past everyone and stopped in front of the wedding officiant while Izuku and Momo carrying the rings. Officiant, I would like to welcome everyone on this gorgeous day and thank you all for being here. Now let's begin. Officiant, Asami Yaoyorozu and Inko Midoriya, please take each other's hands and repeat after me, the officiant said as the couple nodded. Inko, Asami, I swear to you that I will dedicate my life from this day forward to filling our days with beauty and laughter. I will celebrate your spirit and all of your accomplishments. I work to inspire you, and I will be here to remind you of your beauty and strength. I take you today as my partner, my confidant, my other half, and I will love you for the rest of my life. Asami, Inko, I swear to you that I will dedicate my life from this day forward to filling our days with beauty and laughter. I will celebrate your spirit and all of your accomplishments. I work to inspire you, and I will be here to remind you of your beauty and strength. I take you today as my partner, my confidant, my other half, and I will love you for the rest of my life. Officiant, Asami Yaoyorozu and Inko Midoriya. Do you take one another as partners from this day forward? He asked. Asami Inko, we do, the couple said together. Officiant, and to everyone here, do you promise to stand by this couple, to remind them of their vows, and to act as an example of love and family? He asked again. Crowd, we do, everyone yelled together. Officiant, Asami Yaoyorozu and Inko Midoriya, you two have chosen these rings to represent the unbreakable circle of life and love. Please place them on each other's ring fingers and repeat after me, he said. The couple nodded again and placed the rings on each other's fingers. Asami Inko, I give you this ring to remind you of this day when we vowed that our love can overcome everything in front of our closest friends. Our love unites, inspires, and will continue to do so for the rest of our lives. Officiant, by the power vested in me, I now, for the first time, pronounce you two are married. Kiss and go celebrate. As the officiant said this, the couple kissed with love as everyone starts cheering for the newly married couple. The couple starts dancing as everyone watches them. After their first dance, Izuku and Momo, and some others start dancing as well. Asami is dancing with her love as the second song nearly came to its end. She looked into her green-haired wife's eyes. She is lost in her beauty. While she is deep in her thoughts, out of nowhere a gunshot is heard. Everyone gets on the ground to avoid getting shot, but the second one never came. Asami opened her eyes to see her worst nightmare. Inko was shot straight through her heart. She didn't want to believe what she saw. She started crying as Inko fell onto her knees while blood dripping from her chest to her dress. Other pros got into alarm mode and start looking around. Inko, 𝗧𝗵𝗲, she barely managed to say while coughing up blood. Asami, Inko. No. Please Inko, don't leave me. Please. She said while applying pressure on her wound. Her hands were completely covered in blood now. Inko, lo love yua Asami. Please keep Izuku safe. She kissed her lover one last time and closed her eyes as she gave her last breath. Asami was devastated now. She cried as she holds her deceased lover's body in her arms. Izuku lost his words when he saw his mother. He kneeled down on the other side of his mother's body and started crying as well. Momo kneeled down between them and hugged both as she closed her eyes and tried to hold her tears. Everyone got up to be shocked because of what happened. Inko Midoriya Yaoyorozu has died. Inko's death was affected a lot of people. Her fans and friends were saddened to hear about her death. She was killed by a sniper that uses weird-looking ammo. Bullet has dark blue and pink colors. However, Snipe has recognized the bullet easily because of its unique colors. Then he said a name, Lady Nagant. Everyone looked at him as he explained her quirk, rifle, and he told how she is the top marksman in Japan. Entire day heroes talked about Nagant and where she could be. In the end, they had no clue. They contacted everyone, but she is like vanished from the face of the earth. A month passed. The lives of the people close to 𝗵𝗀𝗁 were changed a lot. Izuku started fighting a lot in school with the trio because they were talking bad about his mother. He was already dealing with the pain of her death, and they are just adding salt to his injury. Momo helped Izuku much as she can and stayed beside him. She even fights alongside Izuku. Normally, she doesn't interfere with them, but they had gone too far with their words already. She was missing her mother-in-law as well. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 didn't attend her jobs after her lover's death. She stays in her room all day, refusing to go out except to visit 𝗵𝗀𝗁's grave alongside Izuku and Momo. Her days generally consisted of eating something, drinking, and sitting on her bed looking at their photos while hugging 𝗵𝗀𝗁's clothes. At night she can't get sleep because nearly whenever she tries to sleep, she wakes up with nightmares. Her nightmares consisted of the same things every single time. She was at her wedding with 𝗵𝗀𝗁, then suddenly 𝗵𝗀𝗁 gets shot and falls to the ground as her blood drips on her dress. While she is unable to do something, 𝗬𝗵𝗲 holds her as she gave her last breath as she hears the voice of a person from her past. One of the two voices she never wants to hear again. Voice of the ruined king himself. 𝗲𝗂𝗁, look at the legendary pale lady. Crying, desperate, hopeless now, do you understand how I felt when I lost my Isolde? He asked while standing behind her. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 didn't answer. She just cried while looking at 𝗵𝗀𝗁's fading body until it's completely gone. As the world around them slowly vanished like 𝗵𝗀𝗁 until nothing was left other than her and 𝗲𝗂𝗁. 𝗲𝗂𝗁, how do you feel, LeBlanc? How does it feel to lose the person you loved? The ruined king raised his voice to the woman crying on the ground. 𝗲𝗂𝗁, answer him, he shouted with anger, but he only get weak whimpering from her, begging him to stop it. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, PP please stop it. P please, she begged for her nightmare to end. She only heard a faint laugh from a distance that comes closer. She thought the laughing from 𝗲𝗂𝗁, but it's not. Because 𝗲𝗂𝗁 has vanished already. Look at the black rose. Begging for mercy while crying hopelessly. A male voice spoke. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 got frozen like a stone in her place when she heard the voice. The voice of the man that she remembers in fear. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏, I never thought that I will see you like this. The man said with a voice that paralyzes even the mightiest. Iron-Revenant took a step towards 𝗬𝗵𝗲 as she slowly crawled backward until she hit an invisible wall. She looked at the giant armor that glows with a greenish aura. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏, you lose, little rose. Now enjoy your eternal suffering. He said as he turned backward and started walking while laughing. Then he vanished as well. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 woke up in her room while sweating. She looked at the glowing mark on her chest in the mirror. It was 𝗲𝗂𝗁's gift to her. A curse mark that amplifies her pain and sorrow to an unbearable point, while makes that she can't be killed and kill herself. She curled up on her bed and tried to sleep as she started crying again. As the laughing of 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 and words of 𝗲𝗂𝗁 repeated in her head over and over again while wishing to die. A month passed. It was the last day of the 𝗎𝗪 Junior High. It was an eventful month for the green-haired boy and his girlfriend. After 𝗵𝗀𝗁's death, Izuku started living in the Yaoyorosa mansion. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 is doing whatever she can to make Izuku feel at home so she can honor her lover's dying wish. It was a good decision for everyone. 𝗬𝗵𝗲's sadness was lessened thanks to Izuku. She can finally get a little bit more sleep at night. Izuku was getting better as well. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 was doing her best to be a good mother to Izuku and Momo. 2 weeks ago, 𝗬𝗵𝗲 returned to her work after nearly 2 months of grieving. Everything slowly but surely returning to normal, but Izuku has changed. His passion to be a hero, the flame that strives him further, was gone alongside his mother. He left his dream to be a hero and turned towards making support gears for others. He's already a smart boy for his age. Also, getting a job was easy for him, because her mother-in-law owned one of the greatest support gear companies in Japan. Being a hero lost all of its value in Izuku's eyes after 𝗵𝗀𝗁's death. Nobody knows where Nagant is and most of them already stopped searching for her. His mother's death reminded Izuku that heroes are actually weak. After just 2 months, they are already giving up. Is this the worth of his mother? All the lives she saved, all the villains she captured, all the things she had done for this society. Is this all of his mother's worth to this society? His deep thoughts are cut by the teacher entering the class. Teacher, all right class. It's time for you all to decide your future careers. The teacher said with an energetic tone. Teacher, why am I even talking? I know you all want to become heroes. He said while throwing the papers he brings into the air. Bakugo, hey teach. Don't lump us with these rejects. The blonde boy said with a cocky tone like always. Student 1, watch your mouth Bakugo. Izumi, what? He is telling the truth. You all are nothing compare with us. Izumi responded with a mocking tone. Teacher, Big 3 of Aldra. You all want to go to UA, right? The teacher asked. Student 2, isn't that school has a 2% acceptance rate? A girl asked from behind. Bakugo, yeah. So what? We are good enough to enter. Bakugo shouted with his usual angry tone. Teacher, oh, Izuku, you wanted to go to UA as well, right? After the teacher said that, everyone stopped talking. Everyone looked at Izuku. Nearly the entire school knew Izuku is strong. Even some say he has a strength enhancer quirk, but he pretends to be quirkless. The silence continued until someone broke it. Student 3, Izuku. I know he's strong, but isn't he as quirkless? Bakugo, Deku. How dare you? The angry blonde shouted with rage. He was already angry towards him because, in his mind, Izuku stole Momo from him. Izuku, shout me like that, one more time, you angry Pomeranian. I will neuter you in front of everyone. Izuku shouted to Bakugo. He knew this is the only way to shut him up. Izuku, now for the question. I will not go to UA for the hero class. I am going to the support class. This shocked most of the students. Sure, Izuku was changed since her mother's death, but the change was this much. The trio is shocked even more than everyone. Their main rival said that he gave up. They finally did it. They accomplished their goal to make Izuku give up. Izumi and Shoto are laughing from inside, celebrating. However, Bakugo wanted one more thing from Izuku. It was the love of Momo. Izuku finally gave up on being a hero, but getting Momo was far more important to him. Teacher, I didn't know you changed your career plan, Izuku. Izuku, I decided recently. Teacher, oh, all right then. It's your choice. The class relaxed and they continued talking about their career choices while Izuku was watching outside at the same time he is playing with her mother's necklace. Asami gave Inko's necklace after her death to Izuku, believing that it will help him. After the class, everyone left except the trio and Izuku. Izuku is ready for an attack, but it never came. Instead, Izumi started talking. Izumi, so you gave up? She asked. She heard Izuku when he said the first time, but she wanted to be sure. Izuku, yeah, I don't want to be a hero anymore. It's worthless. Izuku responded with a cold and emotionless voice. Shoto, what do you mean worthless? Are you just giving yourself an excuse because you realize you can't become a hero? The dual-haired boy asked with a mocking voice. Izuku, no, you 𝗧𝗵𝗲𝗏. How much you serve doesn't matter because you always be a replaceable toy soldier for them. When you die, someone will take your place in an instant. Bakugo, you are wrong. We will be the best heroes. Everyone will worship us. Like, the arrogant blonde's words cut off by Izuku. Izuku, like who all might. He will be history like all of you. Izumi, do not talk bad about my father, Izuku, the gray-haired girl responded with an angry tone. Izuku, so what is going to happen if I talk bad about him, Izumi? He was talking bad about my mother. Izumi, that beach deserved to die. Her words cut short when Izuku, in an instant, grab her neck and start choking her. Izuku, tell anything like that, Izumi. I will snap your neck so fast. These two morons will hear the snap of your neck for the rest of their lives. Izuku's bloodlust is too much for all of them to handle. Two boys stayed like a stone in their places. Izumi didn't even try to use her quirk. She is paralyzed by Izuku's bloodlust so much she is scared that Izuku might kill her in an instant. She comes eye to eye with Izuku for a second, but what she saw was frightened her even more. Izuku's eyes. They are glowing with anger and hatred. She was scared. Scared for her life. Her fear continued until Izuku dropped her to the ground and left the classroom. She immediately gasped for air and started coughing. "Shoto, Izumi. Are you alright?" he said while kneeling to help his friend. Izumi, "Yeah, I'm fine." She relaxed as her breathing returned to normal. "Bakugo, I am gonna catch that bee," he said, and without a second, started running behind Izuku. "Shoto, Bakugo." Wait. Shoto said, but he is too late. "Izumi, let's go behind him. That idiot gonna get himself killed." She got up, started running as well. "Shoto, damn it." Shoto runs behind of Izumi. Outside, Izuku meets with Momo and together started walking towards home. When they hear Bakugo coming behind them, both started running instead of walking. Izumi and Shoto run behind Bakugo, trying to stop him. Yet their efforts were pointless. After 20 minutes of chasing, Izuku and Momo stopped under a bridge. They can outrun them, so instead, they decide to face them. When everyone arrived, they all knew what is going to happen. "Bakugo, Yayorozu." Bakugo broke the silence. "Momo, what is it, Bakugo?" she said with an annoyed voice. "Bakugo, why nerd? What is the thing you saw him?" he asked Momo. "I told you before, Bakugo. He is a real man. Not just someone that covers behind his quirk or his status. You are just an arrogant, selfish butt. That's it, that's all you are." She answered with an annoyed and angry tone. "Bakugo, when I became the #1 hero, would you still think like that?" Momo, "Yes. Bakugo, we all know you are the weakest in here. You never will be the #1 hero. Just look at their face and you will see it's the truth. Go on. Look at their face." Bakugo is angry and sad. He turned towards his friends and looked at their faces. He saw what she meant. He fell to his knees as tears rolled down from his cheeks. He remembered the past. The time he got beaten up by Izuku so badly that he was hospitalized. Everyone's look at him after he returned to school. He was weak, pathetic. The self-claimed #1 hero lost to a quirkless person in a 1v1 fight. After that, he never fought with Izuku alone because he was scared that the same thing gonna happen. He never wanted to feel like that again. So he let his anger control him. The other 4 people looked at the broken Bakugo, who is getting up from the ground. "Bakugo, fine. If I can't get you, then no can," he said while rushing to Momo to attack her. Momo got a defensive stance and dodged Bakugo's right hook and she throws him over her shoulder to behind her. Bakugo fell hard on his back. Momo put her foot on his chest to hold him down. "Momo, I was talking about this, Bakugo. You are the weakest in here and I will love Izuku and only Izuku even if I die." While everyone stood at their place, Shoto tried to burn Izuku with a fire wave. However, Izuku easily dodged the wave. Bakugo tried to send an explosion to Momo, but she just stepped back from it. Izuku attacked Izumi to knock her down, but Shoto interfered Izuku's attempt with his ice. Izuku changed his attention towards Shoto while Izumi started throwing the trash around them. Izuku swiftly dodged all of them and even managed to hold one of the cans and throw it right back at Izumi's face. She got distracted, but it's all Izuku needed. Izuku runs towards Shoto, and with a swift move, he knocked him down while avoiding his flames. At the same time, Momo is dodging Bakugo's blasts and punches. She created a bow staff and started hitting Bakugo whenever he made a mistake. Her training with Izuku, in the end, paid off well as he effortlessly dodged and left bruises on Bakugo. The fight continued until something that unexpected happened. A thing made of green sludge attacked Izuku from behind while he is busy fighting. "Sludge villain, come on kid. Need one body," the monster said while covering Izuku's body. Izuku is stuck completely. Momo tried to help him, but her attempts were stopped by Izumi. The green-haired girl throws a piece of metal pipe that she found on the ground, but something she didn't expect happened. Metal pipe pierces through Momo's chest because she is trying to save Izuku. She didn't see it coming. Momo grunted in pain as she looked into Izuku's eyes. Everyone is shocked at what Izumi did. Tears rolled down Izuku's face as he watched her lover fall onto the ground while blood leaking from her wound. Before she has died, she said one last thing to Izuku. Momo, I love you Izuku, she said while closing her eyes one last time. Momo Yaoyorozu has died. Bakugo was the first to get out of shock. He used this time to attack Izuku with everything he got. Bakugo, she died because of you He attacked Izuku with full force while yelling at him. A giant explosion happened that blew the sludge villain into pieces. Shoto and Izumi looked towards Izuku and Bakugo. Izuku falls to the ground right next to the Momo with a hole in his chest because of Bakugo's explosion. While the two are on the ground, Izuku and Momo's hands are touched one last time. The trio stood like that for a minute. They had killed 2 people right now. They panicked about what to do about them. So they decided to abandon them and act as nothing happened. They gathered the sludge villain in a bottle, and they run for their lives. That day, Izuku Midoriya has died. However, all of these are seen by someone. A shadowy mist with 2 golden eyes appeared in front of the 2 teens' bodies. 𝗵𝗃 needs to see these, he said while vanishing with 2 teens' bodies. The misty figure, after taking the bodies of the teens, arrived at his MSTR's secret base. MSTR all for one. You need to see this, the misty figure said with a hurry while bowing down in front of a white-haired man sitting on a chair. 𝗕𝗏𝗄, what is it, 𝗓𝗁𝗓𝗏? The man asked with a curious voice. He never saw his servant acted like this before. Now named 𝗓𝗁𝗓𝗏 opened his portal and slowly put the bodies of the 2 teens to the ground. The white-haired man is shocked because of what he saw. It was the son of All Might, with a hole in his chest. Next to him was a girl with a metal pole stuck in her heart. He recognized the girl. She was 𝗧𝗵𝗲's precious daughter. The man looked at his servant. 𝗕𝗏𝗄, what happened to them? Who killed them, 𝗓𝗁𝗓𝗏? He asked. He needed to know. 𝗓𝗁𝗓𝗏, it was All Might's daughter and her 2 friends. One of them was the son of Endeavor. The misty man answered. 𝗕𝗏𝗄, All Might's daughter. You are saying that she killed her own brother. His curiosity is at its peak right now. 𝗓𝗁𝗓𝗏, no, she killed the girl. A blonde boy killed the son of All Might. He answered while getting something from his pocket. It was his phone. 𝗓𝗁𝗓𝗓, I recorded the entire thing, my lord, the misty man said as he gives the phone to his All for one started watching the video while smiling. He knew that All Might will give his precious OFA to his beloved daughter. So, all he needs to wait for the moment to show this video to the entire world. Show everyone that the daughter of the #1 hero is a killer. His smile turned into a laugh while imaging All Might's face when he sees this. 𝗕𝗏𝗄, well done, 𝗓𝗁𝗓𝗓𝗏. This video will help us to destroy All Might. He laughed while patting the shoulder of his servant. 𝗓𝗁𝗓𝗓𝗏, thank you, my lord. What will do with bodies? He asked. 𝗕𝗏𝗄, turning them into normal nomis is good for us. They need to be recognizable. Maybe we can turn them something like 9. He kneeled and removed the metal pole from Momo's chest. The villains started to healing their bodies to perfect condition. Their souls are already left, so it will not bring them back, but it will make working on them easier. 𝗕𝗏𝗄, put them into stasis for now and send them to 𝗔𝗂𝘁𝗄, he ordered to his servant while sitting back in his chair. 𝗓𝗁𝗓𝗓𝗏, as you wish, my lord. Misty man kneeled and bodies are started to get surrounded by crystals. 𝗕𝗏𝗄, also, 𝗓𝗁𝗓𝗓𝗏, before you go, tell 𝗔𝗂𝘁𝗁 that this project needs to be a secret. 𝗓𝗁𝗓𝗓𝗏 nodded and bowed before vanishing in a purple mist with the bodies. He started to think about what he can do with the teens. Turning them into soulless puppets will be easy, but when 𝗧𝗵𝗲 learns, he knows she will hunt him down to make him pay. Maybe he can resurrect them. They probably help him after what happened to them. Then he remembered that 𝗧𝗵𝗲 made the usage of spells that brings people back completely forbidden. He wondered, but what is the thing that makes her so scared of that spells? It can be so great to have something like that. An army of undead loyal to him. He smiled with just the thought of it. He imagined the face of All Might seeing his own son helping his arch-nemesis. Also, it can be the perfect weapon for already broken 𝗧𝗵𝗲. She is probably going insane already. Her lover died, Her daughter died, her son-in-law died. She had nothing left. She lost everything. He can finally get his revenge on her as well for abandoning him. While all for one busy while dreaming, Asami is waiting for the two teens. She started worrying about them. Why hadn't they come home yet? Has something happened to them? She called her men and Nizu to find them. She started to get sick from worrying. Her cursed mark activated already, amplifying her stress and forcing her to think the worst. Minutes later, Nizu called her back and told her that he sent heroes to help her. However, it didn't relax her for a bit. She got a feeling that something bad happened to them. In the end, she was right because the only thing that her men will find was their broken phones. Months later time passed, and it turned out that Asami's worst nightmares came true. She never found two teens. After that, her emotions crushed the pale woman. She can't sleep at night. Every time she tried to sleep, she woke up crying from her nightmares. Her mark made even everything worse for her. She was begging for death every single night. Yet it was to no avail. She was a prisoner, and life was her eternal torment. Her mental health becoming worse as well. She nearly killed 3 of his maids accidentally out of her anger. Asami was not the only person changing. All for One started hearing whispers 1 month after he found the teens' bodies. 7 months later, he started seeing a shadowy figure in his dreams. A giant figure that made out of the darkness. Figure's emerald eyes looked at him as he shivered from his presence. Figure's emerald eyes looked at him as he shivered from his presence. 𝗕𝗏𝗿𝗺, who are you? The white-haired man asked. I am the key to achieve your dreams. Hisashi, the figure said with a deep male voice. 𝗕𝗏𝗿, how do you know my name? He asked again. He lived nearly 200 years, but he never felt like this in his life. Even All Might was nothing compared to the figure presence. The figure chuckled. I know a lot of things about you. I can help you to get what you want. I can give you the power you craved so much. 𝗕𝗏𝗿, how can you help me? Where are we? He asked once again while looking around. We are in your mind, Hisashi. I can teach you how to bring back people from death. Don't you longing an eternal army you can command? Don't you wish for immortality? I can bless you with my power. Isn't power is the thing you wanted in the first place? The figure asked. His words start to affect the white-haired villain. 𝗕𝗏𝗿, yes, I want power, the villain answered. Good, we will talk later, Hisashi. Now it's your time to wake up, the figure said as he vanished. 𝗕𝗏𝗿 found himself on his bed. He was sweating. The villain got up from his bed and started doing his daily things. He looked himself at the mirror. 5 years ago, he nearly died while fighting his arch-nemesis. He managed to fix his destroyed face thanks to magic and 𝗔𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗆 help. He heavily injured All Might, but he lost some things too. His body got damaged heavily. His appearance looked normal, but his quirks were damaged. He can't use too many quirks, only a couple of them at the same time. He also lost access to some of his strong quirks because of their side effects. He knew his demise was getting closer. He thought while the words of the shadowy figure repeated in his head. Isn't power is the thing you wanted in the first place? Don't you wish for immortality? I can give you the power you craved so much. After that day, every time he met the figure in his dreams, the figure poisoned his mind even more. After some time, the figure told the villain that he needs to resurrect him into the mortal world if he wanted his powers. The white-haired man asked how he is going to do that. As he said that, the figure touched his forehead with his claw-like hand. At that moment, a spell appeared on the villain's mind. He falls to his knees from the sudden pain. 𝗕𝗏𝗿, what was that? He asked while holding his head. That was the spell to resurrect me. I gave you the knowledge you wanted as I said to you before. However, you still need to resurrect me if you want to be strongest, the figure said with his deep and calm voice. 𝗕𝗏𝗿, what about the body I need to summon you to here? The villain asked as he got up. The boy's body will do just fine. 𝗕𝗏𝗿, all right, but I need some time. The doctor is working on it to enhance the body. Enhance? The figure asked. 𝗕𝗏𝗿, yes. He needs some time to get the results of his work. From what he said, he managed to give the body multiple quirks using magic without breaking it. I can wait. Goodbye, Hisashi. Wait, what is your name? He asked. All the time they talked he never learned the figure's name. I will tell you when you revive me, he said as he vanished. 𝗕𝗏 woke up again in his room. It was already past midnight. He got up, changed his clothes, and walked out of his room. He was at his mansion outside of the city and inside the nearby forest. He walked down to his working room and started looking at the monitor showing his bar. He saw his young apprentice Tomura Shigaraki talking with some people he hired. He has done everything he can to turn him into a true villain. Yet, he was still acting like a child. After he met with the shadowy figure, Tomura's only purpose was just to hurt All Might. He no longer needed him other than just to use as a puppet. His need for a new body was gone because he was going to become immortal. He thought killing him, but it will be just a waste of all his efforts. So he decided to let him play his little games. While AFO is looking at the screen, Kurogyri entered to room. Kurogyri, Dr. Ujiko wants me to tell you that bodies are nearly complete. Good. Sooner is better. He started coughing, and a little bit of BLD comes from his mouth. Kurogyri, are you alright? The misty villain servant said, while helping his MSTR. I am fine, Kurogyri. Like I said, sooner is better. Especially for me. The white-haired man said while whispering the last part. He cleaned the BLD that he coughed to his hand. The villain was calmed with the news of Ujiko's work nearing its end. He was finally getting closer to achieving his dream. The power he desired will be finally his. He can rule the world as he dreamed for years. However, the thing that Hisashi didn't know. He was already sealed his fate. Weeks later, Dr. Ujiko finally finished his work on two teens' bodies. He enhanced the body with magic and quirks. This was the work of his life, his greatest creations. Boy's necklace helped him in his research so much that he was thankful that Kurogyri brought it to him. He imagined, if he can manage to use this power for his other creations, nothing can stop them from taking everything. His work was delayed because of Tomura's super Nomu. He tried to reason with Tomura to delay his attack on UA, so he can enhance the Nomu even further. However, Tomura, being the hasty little brat he is, refused the offer. Dr. Ujiko called his MSTR to tell him that he finished his job. Ujiko, my lord, I finished my job and my research. Excellent. I will be there in a minute. Ready the boy's body. The villain said with happiness. Ujiko, I am sorry for delay. Tomura's Nomu caused some problems. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters it's done. Ujiko, do you know where Tomura is? I need to tell him something. He is about to go to USJ. He is going to try killing All Might with that Nomu. Ujiko, I hope he doesn't push Nomu too much. Quirks may malfunction. The doctor said. He was working on teens' bodies so much. He didn't put too much effort into the Nomu. It doesn't matter now if he fails or not. Like that, AFO started getting ready for the ritual. He readied the boy's body with his mages and Ujiko. After preparations are done, finally the time has come. All for One started casting the spell. As the words trickled off from his tongue, the room is started getting enlightened by bright green lights. Other mages started worrying, but nothing stopped All for One. While the villain casting the spell, Boy's body levitated from the ground and got covered by the green lights. Boy's body morphed in his little cocoon. Growing in size like his body is evolving further until the cocoon exploded with a great force, pushing everyone to walls except All for One. He fell on his knees as the lights die down. Someone is floating in where the cocoon was. Boy's grown body started to getting surrounded by a dark liquid. In a moment, dark liquid got a solid form like dark metal armor. The only thing that isn't covered was his face. Boy's skin is pale now. His dark hair with green parts was completely changed to a bright green. His eyes were glowing with power. Everyone looked at the now changed boy as he slowly descends to the ground. He stood tall while looking at everyone. All for One got up and come face to face with the giant armored figure. I brought you back to the living world and fulfilled my side of the deal. Now it's your turn to the same. He said while looking at the giant figure's face, I know, he said with his calm and deep voice. I must say thank you for. He paused while green lights surrounded the other mages and the only exit of the room. Being an absolute fool, the giant figure said as he grasped AFO in his crushing grip. He slowly raised the villain up from the ground. The wicked green lights devoured the other mages while the figure forced all for one to watch as his men died while screaming in pain. He is shocked. He is blinded by power so much he didn't think that would happen to him. The bodies of the mages fell onto the ground. At least what is left of them. The villain tried to use his quirks to get out of the figure's strong grip, but the next thing that happened destroyed his remaining hope. Figure's grip lighted up fight bright green flames as the white-haired villain screamed in pain while all of his quirks and magic getting ripped from him. After nearly coming to the point of passing out of pain, the figure dropped him to the ground. Defo, how? How did you manage to take my quirks from me? He asked while whining from pain. Thanks to Ujiko's work on my body. I must say, I am impressed by his work. Now you are out of the way. I can continue my plan. The figure said while looking at all for one's terrified face. Defo, 𝗬𝗪𝗧𝗪, he asked with his remaining strength. My name is Izuku, however, you can call me 𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗄. Izuku laughed as AFO collapsed onto the floor from exhaustion. Minutes later 𝗕𝗵𝗲 was having a hard time killing All Might. His Nomu was losing the fight, and he became furious when All Might punched the Nomu into the ground. 𝗕𝗵𝗲 looked around. Most of his men are knocked out. The remaining ones are just his vanguard action squad. With All Might, a lot of heroes alongside Principal Nizu and Asami Yayorozu arrived. They were outnumbered. Students of Class 1A and Class 1B are relieved that they had won. However, things are about to go down for heroes. All Might, it's over now, villains. You have no escape and your monster is knocked out. The bulky hero said with his booming voice. 𝗕𝗵𝗲, DMNU All Might. You supposed to be weak. Enraged 𝗕𝗵𝗲 shouted towards the heroes. 𝗕𝗵𝗵, what are we gonna do now? Retreat. The burnt villain asked. Before 𝗕𝗵𝗲 can answer, a black mist that emitted green lights started to fill the entire USJ. The sky darkened as a portal opened in the middle of USJ. Everyone looked at the portal as figures emerged from it. Izuku-the-iron-revenant, this is Momo by the way, 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁, this is Momo by the way, 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁, this is Momo by the way, 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁. Everyone looked at the figures that emerged from the portal. Izuku was standing in the middle, and Momo was standing next to him. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁 and 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁 were standing behind them. Izuku was holding someone in his hand. Students and most of the heroes didn't know who these people were, or who is the person dragged on the ground. Except for All Might, 𝗕𝗵𝗲, Nizu and Asami. They all recognized the person that Izuku was holding immediately. It was all for one. Nobody can say anything because of the sheer terror they felt from their presence, especially Izuku's. All of them were giants, compared to normal humans. Even the smallest one was taller than All Might. Izuku is 12 feet 3 inches. 6m, Momo is 11. 5 feet 3 inches. 5m, 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁 is 9 feet 2 inches. 74m, 𝗧𝗏 is 8 feet 2 inches. For 𝗵𝗃𝗁 is 7. 6 foot 𝗕𝗵𝗲, who are you? What did you to my MSTR? The angry teen shouted to the Izuku. Izuku, don't worry. I didn't do anything that much. He is just knocked out. Izuku said with his cold, deepened voice and threw AFO in front of the enraged 𝗕𝗵𝗲. Asami and Nizu can't speak at all. Both of them were frozen like stones. Their worst nightmare became real. He was returned to the world of the living. However, something felt off. Now there is a woman with white hair standing next to the dark-armored nightmare that they didn't know who it was. Asami, sensing the woman's magic. She ran in front of everyone in disbelief. Asami, Momo, is that really you? The heartbroken mother shouted as she fell on her knees while tears running down from her cheeks. Momo, hello, mother, it's nice to see you again, she said with a dark and cold voice. All of the people in USJ looked at the devastated woman. Heroes didn't believe what they heard. The woman standing there is her daughter. She was missing for nearly a year. A certain green-haired girl was frozen even more than the others. She saw her collapsing to the ground. She killed her. Yet she was here. Asami, what are you doing there, Momo? What happened to you? She asked. She hardly can look at her changed daughter's face. Especially her eyes that glowing with soul magic. Momo, I am where I belong, mother. On the side of my lover, she said while hugging Izuku's left arm. Asami, what? That means he is. Her words cut short when All Might attacked. All Might, Detroit Smash. Number 1 hero yelled as he punched Izuku. A giant gust of wind erupted with the force of All Might's punch. When the dust settled, they cannot believe what they saw. Izuku stopped All Might's punch with one hand. He grasped the number 1 hero's hand and crushed it with ease as All Might's painful scream filled the US. Izuku, you are even weaker than I imagined, All Might. Or should I say father? All Might, Izuku. How? Before All Might can finish his words, Izuku punched his injured side with an even greater force than his punch. All Might coughed up blood and deformed into Small Might. Izuku chuckled and raised All Might so everyone can see his true form. Students and heroes looked at deformed All Might in shock. However, Izuku is not done yet. Izuku held All Might's legs, twisting them completely to a position they should not have been. All Might screamed even more as the only thing others can do is watch the number 1 hero getting beaten up by his own son. Izuku opened a portal and punched All Might through it, dropping him near the heroes and students to see. Izumi ran towards his beaten-up father while crying. He was coughing so much blood, probably having internal bleeding because of the Izuku's first punch. Izuku, one of you take him to a hospital. I don't want him to die that easily, he said, and one of the heroes took All Might's body and rushed to UA. Izuku, how pathetic. I thought that he can offer me a challenge, Izuku said with a mocking tone. Seeing All Might defeated that easily, League of Villains tried to escape with Nomu, but their attempt failed when Hecarim cut 𝗬𝗁𝗁𝗁 in half with his glaive. 𝗬𝗁𝗁𝗁's body dropped onto the ground as they all looked at the centaur ghost standing in front of them. Shigaraki tried to escape to the heroes, but he is stopped by a hook that wrapped around him and even pierced his flesh. Thresh, where are you going? The malicious ghost said with a sadistic voice. Shigaraki tried to decay the hook, but nothing happened to it. Thresh pulled the 𝗕𝗓𝗓 near him with one move. 𝗕𝗓𝗓 falls onto the ground and, because of his movement, Hook started cutting his chest open. Izuku held 𝗕𝗓𝗓 and ripped his quirk and replacing it with a strong regeneration quirk. Villain's body aches in pain as quirk replacement drained his stamina. Izuku, do you really think you can escape that easily? 𝗕𝗁𝗁𝗍𝗓𝗓. Izuku asked the scared boy. He waited for an answer, but the only thing he got is his terrified look at him. Izuku, Thresh, take him and leave. I have no use for him, so he is completely yours. I gave him a strong regeneration quirk to ensure he won't break easily, Izuku said while tossing 𝗕𝗓𝗓 to Thresh. A smile appeared on the twisted spirit's face. His lord gifted him a toy he can play much as he wants. A toy that could feel the full range of human suffering, but would not perish, a plaything he could torment for years to come. Thresh was delighted so much. Words cannot tell how happy he is. Thresh, I am honored, Your Highness. Thank you for your great gift. He bowed to his lord and exited from USJ while dragging 𝗕𝗓𝗓, who is crying and begging for mercy. Bakugo, how are you still alive? Izuku, death cannot hold me, Bakugo. I'm returned to the world of the living even after you killed me, like how Izumi killed Momo. Izuku shouted while the ground trembled from his powers. Izuku, now bow before your damnation. You all see what happened to All Might, he said with a demanding tone. He is going to kill them anyways, but it will make things easier if they all surrender. Students walked forward. Izuku knew that they are going to fight. He smiled under his helmet. He was hoping that 2 of the UA's classes maybe can provide a challenge to him. Heroes walk forward as well with the students. They cannot leave them to fight, so they need to join in as well. Izuku, good. I was hoping for you all to fight. Now you all will face your 𝗕𝗐. Izuku roared as he opened his right hand, and a giant mace emerged from nothing. Now you all will face your 𝗕𝗐. Izuku roared as he opened his right hand, and a giant mace emerged from nothing. Izuku hit his mace to the ground, and out of nowhere, the ground below the heroes crumbled. A magical shockwave threw all of them backward. The power loader emerged from the ground in front of Izuku and tried to punch him. Izuku swung his giant mace and destroyed the mechanical arm. After that, he pulled power loader from his suit. "Izuku, shatter!" Izuku shouted as he slammed his mace to the power loader and exploding him into pieces. 𝗵𝗵𝗃 used his quirk and tried to capture him. However, Izuku easily destroyed the walls. Before 𝗵𝗵𝗃 create more walls, an ethereal grasp pulled him to Izuku. Izuku grasped him with his left hand and his mace has vanished in an instant. Now his right hand free. He punched a hole on 𝗵𝗵𝗃. Izuku's right hand got out of the hero's back while holding his heart. He removed his hand from the dead hero's chest and dropped him to the ground. Like that, Izuku has killed 2 pro heroes without even trying. League of Villains tried to escape again, using their quirks to create an opening. 𝗕𝗵𝗍 used his flames and distracted 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗏, and Mr. Compress rushed to turn 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗏 into marble, but he fell to the ground when a shadow dashed through him. His friends looked at the other side to see Momo standing on one knee. She got up slowly, and they see Mr. Compress's head in her hand. "Momo, do you all forget me already?" she asked with a childish tone while smiling as she kicked the head towards the other villains. "Momo, 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗏, get 𝗧𝗪𝗃 and leave," she ordered to the centaur while looking at the villains. "𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗏, as you wish, my lady." The centaur ghost bowed his head and left 𝗕𝗍𝗃 with a portal. "Momo, now let's dance," she giggled with a sadistic smile and opened her right hand. Just like Izuku's mace, a sword appeared out of nothing. Just like Izuku's mace, a sword appeared out of nothing. Toga rushed towards Momo with her knives. She readied her sword, but the young villain is ready for the attack to dodge it. Momo swung her sword as Toga dodged the attack and cut Momo. However, her knife went through her, and she vanished into a cloud of black smoke. Toga cannot comprehend what happened before a sharp pain went through her back. She coughed up blood and looked down to see Momo's sword went through her. "Momo, so close, little one." She twisted her sword inside of Toga's chest before throwing her body towards Mustard. The young villain dodged his friend's body and tried to shoot Momo, but there were 2 of them. He has 1 shot to hit the real one because of how fast Momo is moving. He used his chance on the left one. However, he shot the wrong one. Before he can pull the trigger again, Momo cuts him in half, and both pieces of his body hit the ground. "Momo, one more down?" she asked while looking at the remaining villains with her glowing green eyes and terrifying smile. Villains attacked her together to have an advantage because they are outclassed so much when they are alone. 𝗕𝗵𝗍 and Moonfish used their ranged attacks while Muscular and Spinner rushed towards Momo together. Momo smiled as she made a clone to help her. Clone went for the ranged ones as her sword clashed with Spinner's. Muscular went for a punch, but Momo sidestepped it easily and cut Muscular's arm with 1 swipe of her blade. The muscle-headed villain was wide open for a finisher, but Magna interfered. Momo jumped backward and stood for a moment with a curious look on her face. "Momo, what are you exactly? Your look confuses me. The burnt guy said you are female, but you look like a male," she asked. "Magna, I'm a woman," she yelled at Momo with an angry look. Magna was even more enraged when Momo started laughing at her. "Momo, oh wow. I want to call you ugly, but it will be an insult to other people who called ugly," she said with a mocking tone while wiping the tears she shed from laughing. Magna tried to use her quirk, but she caught off guard when blue flames burned her back. She turned towards 𝗕𝗵𝗍, who just attacked her instead of Momo's clone standing next to him. There is a green crown on his head and his eyes were green like Momo's eyes. Muscular Spinner and Magna saw the Moonfish's burned body on the ground. Before they can say anything, all of them heard Momo's voice. "Momo, never leave your eyes from your opponent," Momo said while punching Magna with her left hand, dropping her to the ground. Then Momo stepped on her face so hard. Her boots were covered in blood as Magna's head exploded like a balloon. "Momo, oops. I stepped on her too hard. Oh well, at least nobody can see her ugly face anymore," she said while laughing. She looked at terrified Spinner and twice. "Momo, you are all too weak, and you all call yourselves villains. You are all too boring to fight. Don't worry, the burnt guy is just brainwashed. Just you all wait here for heroes to arrive. She said and released 𝗕𝗵𝗃 from her control. She turned into black smoke and left to check on Izuku. While she was fighting with villains, Izuku has massacred the heroes. He ripped Snipe's arms so he can't wield a gun ever again, burned ectoplasm to death. Aizawa and Vlad King were already knocked out because of the Nomu. Izuku crushed the remaining heroes with his mace Nightfall as they tried to defend themselves. He had no fun while fighting the heroes. They are too weak for him. At least some of the foolish students such as Itsuka Kendo, Nito Monoma, Eijiro Kirishima, Kyoka-jiro, Mina Ishido, and a couple of others entertained him a little bit. However, that didn't change their fate. He burned Ishido and Monoma with Ishido's own acid, crushed Kirishima and Tetsutetsu with Nightfall. He ripped Jiro's earphone jacks and strangled her with them like how he strangled Ibra with her own vines. He used Ojiro's own tail and Kendo's enlarged hands to beat them to death with their own limbs. When all of these are happening, Asami and Nizu were watching Izuku and Momo's rampage from the sidelines because of Izuku's paralyzing mist effect. Izumi, Bakugo, and Shoto tried to attack Izuku as well, but they failed miserably. Izuku pulled Izumi to himself and grabbed her face. Then he slammed her to the ground, knocking her out. Bakugo went for a full-powered explosion on Izuku. However, it did nothing to him. Izuku, annoyed by Bakugo's stupid attempts, pulled his arm and used him to hit Shoto. Izuku, such paltry blows. Izuku said with a disappointed tone while walking to Shoto. He held him from his head. He looked at the remaining students watching them. The moment Izuku laid eyes on them, they all stood like stone pillars. After glaring at them for a bit, he turned to Shoto again. Izuku, you said before that you hated from your fire, right? Todoroki, let me help you to get rid of it. Izuku said, and in front of everyone. He ripped Shoto in two right on the middle. Endeavor, Hawks, Miruko, and Best Jeanist arrived right on time to see Shoto's death. They all paled when they saw a couple of students crying in the corner. Heroes slaughter like animals, and their BLD was painting the ground. They even saw a bunch of students' dead bodies as well, lying on the ground alongside heroes and villains. All of them turned to Izuku, who is standing on top of the corpses of heroes. A moment later, Momo appeared next to Izuku as well. Momo, do you have fun, my love? She asked. Izuku, no, they are weaklings. Izuku said with a disappointed tone. Momo, yeah, villains are the same as well. At least we don't have much problem accomplishing our plan. Izuku, right? Let's get out of here. Izuku said and opened a portal to leave the USJ. Before they go, they both looked at the heroes that arrived. Then they turned at the Asami and Nizu. Izuku glared at them and before leaving, he raised his right hand. The souls of everyone they killed today flew towards Izuku's hand and formed a sphere. Then Izuku absorbed the soul sphere and left the USJ. Momo sent a kiss to her mother and gone through the portal as well. Heroes seeing them leaving, they all scattered around the USJ and tried to find everyone alive. They wondered, how did a simple field trip day end with a massacre? Days after USJ Massacre, after the catastrophe Izuku created, UA's public image fell apart. Heroes and students were killed on a simple field trip. People were started to question how safe UA really was. Top pro heroes, remaining UA teachers and students, AFO, Asami, Nizu are now standing in a room discussing what happened at the USJ. Endeavor, what was that thing in the USJ? Number 2 hero said with an angry tone. He was still not over Shoto's death. Asami, it was Izuku. Inko, and All Might's son. She answered with sadness in her voice. Miruko, All Might has a son, Rabbit Hero asked with curiosity. Hawks, yeah, he was scary. Young Hero shivered when he remembered Izuku's dark aura. Endeavor, Shoto told me he was quirkless. Then how the hell he killed that many people in USJ? Asami, that wasn't a quirk. Endeavor, what? This isn't time for a joke, Asami. He yelled to the woman standing in front of him. Asami, you heard me, dumb F. It wasn't a quirk. Asami, already stressed from everything, yelled back at Endeavor. Endeavor, you? Endeavor, enraged, raised his hand to attack Asami. Nizu, enough, his voice stopped both of them. Nizu, she is telling the truth 𝗕𝗫𝗏. It wasn't a quirk. Everyone in the room looked at the principal. There is power different than a quirk. That was impossible. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏. Then what was it, sir? He asked the question everyone wanted to ask. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, it was magic. Real magic. How is that possible? A weak voice asked behind. People looked at where the voice comes from. It was All Might. He was on the brink of death when he brought to Recovery Girl. The beating he got from Izuku reduced his hero time to 30 minutes in a day now. There is no reason to keep his hero form around the people who survived from USJ because they already saw him, and Izumi told them about OFA when he was knocked out. All Might. More importantly, how Izuku learned to use it. 𝗕𝗏𝗏, you have no idea what is truly possible and impossible, All Might. The white-haired villain answered his arch-nemesis's question. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, Hisashi is right, All Might. The pale woman said with a really calm voice while getting up from her chair. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, one of the things you can do is to summon spirits of the dead people. However, only a desperate person or a power-hungry idiot tries something like that. Even after I make the usage of that spell's forbidden. When she finished her words, 𝗬𝗵𝗲 slapped 𝗬𝗏 so hard it left a print of her hand on his cheek. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, you moron. I told you to don't use those spells. Because of you, entire world is doomed. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 started beating 𝗬𝗏 again. She took all of her anger out on him. Nizu, 𝗬𝗵𝗲, calm down. He yelled as she tried to stop her. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, shut up. 𝗬𝗪𝗏𝗺𝗀𝗀, she said while dropping 𝗬𝗏 and returning to her chair. 𝗬𝗏, your hand is still heavy, 𝗬𝗵𝗲. He chuckled and got up from the ground while spitting out the BLD in his mouth. 𝗕𝗏𝗏, you don't gonna ask how they died. The villain looked directly at Bakugo and Izumi standing in the room. They all first looked at the villain, then the Izumi and Bakugo. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 then remembered what Izuku said. She slowly turned towards two teens with rage in her eyes. She opened her hand, and two golden chains wrapped around the teens. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, what happened between you two, Izuku and Momo? Bakugo, what are you talking about, you stupid bit? Before he can finish his words, chains around him tightened until he was barely able to breathe. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, choose your words carefully, you little brat. Or I will kill you right here in front of everyone. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 started to release her killer intent so much that everyone in the room stood still. Izumi, we didn't do anything, she said with a sad tone while looking at her. 𝗕𝗏𝗏, oh come on, Izumi. We all know that is a lie. You cannot hide this secret anymore, he said with his usual mocking manner. 𝗕𝗏𝗏, if you don't want to tell, I can tell for you too, he said while smiling at the green-haired girl. All Might, stop. If Izumi said she didn't do anything, then she didn't do anything. The weakened hero defended her daughter as always. 𝗕𝗏𝗏, oh All Might, what a protective father you are. If you cared your son similar to Izumi, maybe things didn't end up like this, he said while laughing at number one hero's words. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏, what did you two do? He asked the question again to teens. 𝗕𝗏𝗏, they won't tell you, 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏. However, I can tell you what happened. Izumi killed Momo by stabbing a metal pipe through her chest. Bakugo killed Izuku by blowing up a hole through his chest similar to Momo's wound. That's right, people, daughter of number one is a murderer. He finished his world looking at All Might. Miruko, that doesn't explain how Izuku got that powerful. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, he always has strong mana, but he never actively used it before. However, that wasn't only Izuku's strength, there was someone else's power as well. While she was speaking, she started shaking. She remembered all the things she had endured because of that person. Then suddenly, 𝗕𝗏𝗏 gathered all the attention by saying only one thing. One name. 𝗕𝗏𝗏 Nizu, how do you know that name? The Yordle asked while shaking. He remembered all the destruction 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 caused all those years ago. 𝗕𝗏𝗏, after this two killed Izuku and Momo. Kurogiri came to me with Izuku and Momo's bodies and video of the moment they killed them. 1 month later, I started hearing voices. Then after some time, I started seeing weird dreams where I was in a dark place with someone. 𝗬𝗏𝗏, it was him, wasn't it? She asked with a cold tone. 𝗬𝗏𝗏 answered her question by nodding. 𝗕𝗏𝗏, He talked with me and said he was going to help me. He said he can give me power. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, and you believed him? 𝗕𝗶𝗍, yes. After that, he started to appear more and more in my dreams. I never learned his name. When I asked about his name, he said that he will tell me when I summon him. On the day of USJ, I summoned him back to the world of the living. He said, my name is 𝗧𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲, however, you can call me 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏. That's how I know his name. 𝗕𝗫𝗏, then he knocked you out. Didn't you try to defend yourself at least? 𝗕𝗏𝗶, I tried and it cost me only. Even more. All Might, what do you mean? 𝗕𝗏𝗶, he took all my quirks, he said with a sad voice while looking at the ground. 𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗁, wait, quirks, you say it like it's plural, Rabbit Hero asked. 𝗕𝗏𝗶, because it was. My original quirk, all for one, allowed me to give and take quirks. 𝗕𝗫𝗏𝗁, how many did you have? 𝗕𝗏𝗶, even I don't remember how many I had. It was that much. His words shocked the heroes and students. 𝗫𝗎𝗁, why did you make a deal with him, Hisashi? 𝗕𝗏𝗶 looked at 𝗬𝗵𝗲. 𝗕𝗏𝗶, because I was desperate after my fight with All Might, my body started breaking apart. I even lost most of my powerful quirks because of the toll they take on the body. I needed a new body, or I need to become immortal. Eraserhead, now who is 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗍? 𝗬𝗵𝗲, thousands of years ago, 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗍 returned from the afterlife by tricking some sorcerers to brought him back. He was lacking any flesh and bone, so sorcerers bonded his spirit to dark metal armors. After he stepped into the world of the living again, he slaughtered all of the sorcerers and took over all of their armies. Then he started his relentless campaign of destruction again to conquer everything. He crushed every tribe that stood in his way or enslaved them, and entire generations perished because of him. It took 300 years to finally stop him. Hawks, how did they manage to stop him? 𝗬𝗵𝗲, I was one of his servants. I betrayed him and banished him to the death realm by destroying the link that bound his soul to his armor. 𝗕𝗫𝗏𝗏, you said that was thousands of years ago. If you betrayed him that many years ago, how are you still alive? 𝗬𝗵𝗲, I achieved immortality through my own ways. Midnight, so you are immortal. How it must be nice to stay young forever. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, no, it's not. It's a curse more than a blessing. Midnight, really? What? 𝗬𝗵𝗲, the longer you live, the more you realize that only things always stay the same were pain and suffering. Life is meaningless if there is no end to it. Death is what makes life meaningful when the people you care passed away from this world. You are stuck in here with the pain they left to you. You will be the one always suffering if you live forever. That is why death is not a bad thing. It is the end of your pain as well. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, 1,000 years after his banishment, 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗍 returned to the world of the living even stronger than last time, thanks to some help. Like before, he crushed everything in his path again with his new powers and destroyed nations. We sealed him again with a magical item called World Rune of Life. All Might, World Rune. 𝗫𝗎𝗁, World Runes are the sources of the magic in the world. The World Rune of Life is the combination of all 5 other World Runes. Then a glimmer of hope appeared on the Yordle's face. 𝗫𝗎𝗁, 𝗬𝗵𝗲, we can use them again. It can be the only way to stop him. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, we must find them again, 𝗫𝗎𝗁. 𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗁, then let's collect them again. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, it's not that easy, bunny girl. All of them are sealed in different places within magical temples. 𝗫𝗎𝗁, I know you kept the 6th piece, 𝗬𝗵𝗲. At least we have one of the pieces. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, no. We don't have anything, 𝗫𝗎𝗁. All Might, what happened to the piece? 𝗬𝗵𝗲, I made a necklace from it, and I give it to 𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗁. After her death, I gave it to 𝗧𝗂𝗁. After her answer, everyone stayed quiet for a moment. 𝗕𝗫𝗏𝗏, that means. 𝗕𝗏𝗶, yes. 𝗧𝗂𝗁 already has a piece of the World Rune. 𝗫𝗎𝗁, he will come for the other pieces as well. Hawks, so we must find all of it before him. 𝗕𝗏𝗶, yes. 𝗕𝗏𝗀, however, the important question is, 𝗫𝗎𝗁, what is he gonna do with them? The Yordle finished 𝗕𝗏𝗀's words as they all wonder what 𝗧𝗂𝗁 was planning. Week later in this 1 week, 𝗧𝗂𝗁 raided Black Rose Organization's hideouts. Stealing items, runes, and leaving only destroyed buildings and mountains of corpses of heroes and members of Black Rose. In all of these massacres, only one person from each hideout was survived. However, this was just Izuku's way of sending a message to everyone that he will kill them if they stand in his way. In a Black Rose compound on another raid, Momo stood there with a bored expression. She didn't find anyone that gets her attention to fight. On top of that, this compound already empty. There is no good item to take or a magical weapon for her to take. When she got ready to leave and saw 𝗧 was already waiting for her in front of the exit. While she is slowly walking towards the exit, she felt someone hiding under broken tables. Momo stopped in front of the table the person is hiding and threw it to the side of the room, revealing the scared man. When the table was thrown, the man got up fast as he can. Momo, calm down. Look, I will let you live, but don't tell anyone, okay? She said with a calm and soothing voice. The scared man ran to the other side, but when he got some distance, Momo created a spear and threw it behind him. The poor man didn't even chance to do something before the spear pierced right through him and pinned him to his place where he died. She smirked and walked towards the exit to meet up with 𝗧, who watched everything. 𝗧, my lady, why did you give a chance to that man? The malicious spirit asked. Momo, I don't know. I thought that it will be funny. Did you find anything good? The tall woman asked his servant. She hoped that he managed to find something worth taking. 𝗧, I'm sorry, my lady. There is nothing that great. Probably the other members cleaned this place thinking that we will come for the items, he said while slightly bowing the tall woman standing in front of him. Momo, such a waste of time. Let's return to the mansion then, she said while raising her hand to collect the souls of the people inside. Momo raised her hand again to open a portal to the mansion they live in. The mansion originally belonged to the AFO. However, when Izuku took everything AFO had, they decided to use this mansion as their base after some modifications. The mansion was deep inside a forest, and it was protected by spells Izuku made it. When they arrived, 𝗧 looked at Momo while slightly bowing. 𝗧, is there anything else you want me to do, 𝗵𝗃? He asked with a little bit impatient tone. Momo knew the reason why he asked this. Momo, no, you can leave. You are probably want to play with your toy after a bad raid, she calmly said and walked towards Izuku's room. 𝗧 bowed his head even more and walked towards the underground section of the mansion. Momo entered Izuku's room and watched them. Quirkless and 𝗧𝗵𝗲 were reporting what they learned to Izuku. 𝗧𝗵𝗲, my lord, our intel revealed that heroes already got 2 pieces. I suggest that we should get the rest of the pieces before them, the centaur said with a worried voice. If the heroes got all of the rune pieces before they can, it will be over. Izuku, calm down 𝗧𝗵𝗲. It doesn't matter if they got 2 of the 6 pieces. They need all of the pieces for the runestone. We already have a piece and we will get the rest of them. Izuku answered with a calm voice to ensure his servant that everything is fine. 𝗧𝗵𝗲, yes, my lord 𝗵𝗃. He stopped himself after realizing what his 𝗧𝗃. 𝗧𝗵𝗲, we have a piece, he asked with a confused tone. He looked at Izuku as he reached his neck and revealed the necklace he is wearing. There is a white stone on it that is glowing with a colorful aura. Izuku, yes, we have a piece. Now the only thing that remains is getting the rest of the pieces. You can leave now, he said while pointing to the door. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 bowed to Izuku and walked towards the door and saw Momo was standing in front of it. After bowing to her as well, he left the room and gone outside to do training. Then the Death Singer started to talk. Quirkless, we located the person you asked, Your Highness. What do you want us to do with her? Izuku, nothing. I will go myself. Izuku got up from his throne and left the mansion with the portal he opened. Izuku is now standing in front of an old building that is abandoned. However, he can feel the woman he is looking for standing inside. Lady Nagant. An old hero turned into a villain who kills heroes and Hero Association members. She went rogue after killing pro-hero Emerald Tornado, or known as 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗎. Nagant was sitting on a chair in front of a campfire while holding a photo. She was thinking about things she had done. Her thoughts were cut by a dark presence she felt. In an instant, she readied her gun and turned backward. However, Before she can fire, Izuku held her neck with his right hand while ripping her gun out of her body with his left hand. Nagant screamed in pain while Izuku raised her up to his eye level. Nagant looked at Izuku's dark metal helmet for a moment. Lady Nagant, 𝗬𝗂𝗧𝗵𝗲. Instead of an answer, Izuku's dark metal helmet vanished and revealed his face. Even after he grew, she recognized his face. Lady Nagant, why you are 𝗕𝗏𝗧's son? She said with a shocked look on her face. Izuku, yes, I'm her son. I will ask you this. Why did you kill her? Izuku's rage is growing even more now. He started choking her even more without realizing it. Lady Nagant, 𝗕𝗏𝗧𝗔𝗄 had no safe choice, she said while tears started running down her cheeks. Izuku, what do you mean? Izuku asked her while slowly loosening his grip so she can breathe easier. Lady Nagant, I needed money for him. For my son. She pointed to the photo with her eyes. Izuku took the photo from the ground with his magic and looked at it. It was Nagant, and she was holding a little boy with blue hair in her arms. They were both smiling. Lady Nagant, his quirk awakened late, and when it awakened, it did serious damage to his body and needed special surgery to save him. It was too expensive for me. Then he came and offered me to cover up my son's surgery price exchange for taking her life. Izuku silently continued to listen to her. Lady Nagant, time was running out, and I had no other choice. I was desperate. I really cared for your mother. She was my inspiration to become a hero. I am sorry. Izuku, who is the person that ordered you to kill her? Izuku asked her with a calm voice. Lady Nagant, it's 𝗕𝗏𝗧. He was the one who ordered me. She finished speaking and closed her eyes, waited for Izuku to kill her. However, she surprised when she slowly put her down. Izuku, what happened to your son? Instead of an answer, Izuku saw Nagant on her knees while holding the photo of her and her son. Lady Nagant. He died because 𝗕𝗏𝗧 never gave the money he promised. Izuku, do you want revenge? He asked the crying woman. Lady Nagant. Yes, but without my weapon it's impossible, she said while looking at her bloody arm. Izuku, I can give you more power if you serve me at my revenge. Now do you accept my offer? He asked while extending his hand to her. Lady Nagant, I accept, she said and held Izuku's hand. Izuku, good. This will hurt a lot, he said and gently held her head. As the bright green flames touched Nagant's body, her screams echoed on the empty corridors of the building. Days later, heroes split into 3 teams to recover the last 3 pieces of the Rune of Life. They managed to get 2 pieces without any problem already and hoped that getting the other 3 pieces will be that easy again. After they all got ready, each team went to the locations of the rune pieces. Team 1, 𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗂𝗁, Miruko, Eraserhead, Best Jeanist, 𝗕𝗏𝗁𝗂𝗁. Team 2, Izumi, Ryuko, Hawks, Midnight, Present Mike, Ida, 𝗬𝗪𝗎𝗂𝗁𝗂𝗁. Team 3, Asami, Endeavor, All Might, Nizu, All for One. Team 1 was heading deep inside a forest that the temple was in. Eraserhead was using the magical compass that Nizu gave him to navigate their way to the temple. However, when they arrive at the temple, they realized that Izuku's men were already inside the temple. They all stopped and hide. Eraserhead, it seems like we are late. They already got in. Bakugo, then let's kick their butt and get the DM in peace, the explosive blonde said with his usual aggressive tone. Miruko, he is right. We need to take the piece from them, the rabbit hero said. She was approving Bakugo's words. They can't let them take the piece and leave. 𝗕𝗏𝗁𝗂𝗁, it's a stupid idea. The ninja hero refused the idea of a direct attack. Eraserhead, 𝗕𝗏𝗁𝗂𝗁 is right. Look at their numbers. They are too many to fight for a long time and we don't know that they have the piece. Best Jeanist, I agree with Eraserhead. Their numbers are far superior to us, and we should remember what Nizu said to us, he said while looking at the aggressive duo. He hoped that they will remember what Nizu told everyone about Izuku's powers. However, they both just looked at him without a word. He took a deep breath. Best Jeanist, as you all know, he stopped for a moment while looking at the duo. Izuku's servants are immortal, and they can regenerate infinitely. So fighting them head-on was a bad option because eventually, they tire us out and kill us. Not only we lose a piece alongside our lives. Then Izuku can use us to fight for him. He explained to the aggressive duo about how idiotic their plan was. Bakugo, so what are we gonna do then? He asked the heroes. 𝗕𝗬𝗁𝗍. Simple. We wait for an ambush. We get the piece and leave. It's our best chance. Miruko, what if they teleport away? The rabbit hero asked with a curious voice. She really doesn't want to fail this mission. Best Jeanist, they can't. Remember what 𝗫𝗍𝗁 said. Spells are useless in the temple and its vicinity. So they can't get out that easily. 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗎𝗄𝑔. Also, these bracelets are hiding our presence. So we have the surprise factor on our side as well. He said while shaking his hand with the bracelet. Miruko, fine, let's do it with your ninja way, Rabbit Hero said while looking at the 𝗕𝗬𝗁. Eraserhead, Bakugo. Bakugo, alright, where do we ambush them? 𝗕𝗬𝗁𝗍. These ones look like just foot soldiers. The leader is probably still in the temple. We wait until the leader exit from the temple and watch the path they take for a little bit. Then ambush little further in the road. Everyone nodded and started waiting for the leader to come out. After an hour of waiting, 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 got out of the temple with the box contains the rune piece. The centaur ghost starts walking out of the forest with his 50 soldiers. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 will be pleased to see that I successfully returned with the piece, he thought to himself while walking. However, his thought was cut by the sudden explosion hit him. Before he can do anything, he is locked in his place with 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗎's wooden roots and kicked by Miruko. A surprise attack combo. He should expect that. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 knew he can't take them all. He can't teleport and his strength was dampened alongside his soldiers' strength because of the temple. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 mortals. He got up and summoned his glaive. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 roared and engaged in a fight with heroes. Eraserhead. Bakugo, 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗎, best Jeanist, 𝗕𝗬𝗁𝗍. Take the soldiers. We will take the box. They all nodded and fighting with the 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 soldiers. Even they are just simple soldiers, they were strong, fast, and durable. They all aim to kill, so they need to be cautious. 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗎 and best Jeanist gathered the soldiers much as they can while Bakugo and 𝗕𝗬𝗁𝗍 tried to inflict much damage as possible to slow down the soldiers. Things are not that bright for the other side either. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 was deflecting and countering their attacks with his glaive constantly. He doesn't give them much chance to knock him down. He was fast, strong, and he definitely knew how to use his weapon. Miruko came behind 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 to surprise him while he was busy with Eraserhead, but her attempt failed when 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 kicked her with his back legs. She broke a couple of her ribs because of the impact while flying into the tree behind her. Miruko, that horse kicks really hard, she coughed and got back up. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎, that was for your earlier kick, he said while turning his attention to her. Before he can dash at her, Eraserhead used his capture gear to hold 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎's glaive-holding hand. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 looked at the Eraserhead and with all of his strength, he threw him to the other side. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎, if you want to die first, so be it. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 readied himself to strike down Eraserhead, but suddenly a giant explosion that much bigger than before hit his side and throwing him off while dropping the box holding the rune piece. Bakugo, you owe me one for that. Bakugo said while grabbing the box. He pushed himself too much for that explosion. To his luck, charges of his gauntlets filled up right on time to save Eraserhead. 𝗕𝗬𝗁𝗍 took the box from Bakugo's hand and ran to the helicopter. 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗎 took the injured Miruko and ran behind the 𝗕𝗬𝗁𝗍 while he shortly followed other ones. However, a minute later, 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 manages to get out of the boulders and trees he stuck under and ran behind the heroes furiously. He has no intention of letting his lord down. When he was about to reach heroes, a voice echoed in his mind. Izuku, 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎. It's time to return. Izuku said with a calm voice. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎, my lord. I didn't manage to get the piece yet. Izuku, it doesn't matter if you got it or not. You did your part. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎, but my lord, his words were cut short. Izuku, 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎, Izuku's voice changed suddenly to a darker tone. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎 realized that he was pushing too far. He didn't manage to get the piece, and disobeying Izuku can make things even worse for him. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝗎, as you wish, my lord. I am returning to the mansion. he said with a low voice while slowing down. Heroes, on the other hand, were happy. They managed to get out there alive with no loss, and they even managed to get the piece. Bakugo, hell yeah. We did it. He yelled with the happiness of victory in his voice. Best jeanist. Honestly, that went better than expected. Miruko, yeah, tell that to me. That DMN thing really hit hard. Ed shot, yeah, he was catching up but then he stopped. Eraserhead, that's the thing. Collecting the rune pieces going so smoothly. Eraserhead, I have a feeling that there is something else going on. If Izuku wants these pieces, why don't he send more soldiers? Aizawa wondered what was Izuku can be planning while they are returning to UA. Team 2, Izumi, Ryuko, Hawks, Midnight, Present Mic, Iida, Uraraka. Team 2 arrived at the location of the piece, a small island near Japan. Heroes landed on the island with a helicopter and instantly started walking towards where is the temple located. Midnight, what are we looking inside the temple exactly? I don't think that the piece is laying around at the entrance. Hawks, it should be at the deepest part of the temple in a box. At least from what I know. Ryuko, yes. Also, we need to keep our eyes open. Izuku's men might be already here. When the dragon hero mentioned Izuku, everyone who saw the things that happened at USJ shook with fear. Uraraka, do you think that is there any trap inside? The brunette asked. Present Mic, I hope not. I love my head where it belongs. The walking boombox hero said with a terrified voice while holding his neck. He remembered the movies he watched about old temples full of deadly traps. Izumi, probably there are traps inside if it's guarding something that powerful, the green-haired girl answered. Iida, Izumi is right. We should move carefully inside of the temple, he said while chopping the air with his hands. The team arrived in front of the temple, and after checking around, they entered the temple and started slowly walking deeper. It seemed like they were alone. However, they were not, and somebody was following them from the shadows. Team 2 made their way to the room that holds the rune piece. While they were walking, traps stopped them multiple times, but they all managed to survive. As they walked and evaded traps, Iida started getting worried. Not for himself but for Uraraka. He developed some feelings for her from the first moment they met at the entrance exam. She was an appealing girl and a great friend that supports others. He doesn't want her to be here, but she came anyway. After some walking, they arrived at the door of the room holds the piece. Suddenly the carvings on the door light up and a bowl full of sand rose from the ground. They all looked at the door while trying to read the words, yet they didn't understand anything because it was written on a tongue long forgotten. Midnight, what are we gonna do now? Ryuko, I don't know. Probably this is a riddle, but what language is this? Hawks, oh man, I wish that we could read what it says. The winged hero said with a sad voice. They all came here to just be stuck at the entrance of the room. While they looked sad, carvings light up again, and words turned into Japanese so they can read. They were all shocked to find out that all they need to do was just ask for it. Uraraka, I can't believe that it was this easy. Iida, at least we can read it now. As they are looking at the door, Midnight read the riddle loudly. Midnight, more just than the gods, more vicious than the evil deities, the rich need me, the poor need me not. What am I? Present Mic, what kind of riddles is that? Ryuko, does anything come to someone's mind? The dragon hero asked the group, but everyone stayed silent. Hawks, I got nothing. I can't think anything fits. Uraraka, me too. Present Mic, me neither. I can't think anything like that. Iida, I got nothing as well. Izumi, maybe it's the answer. There's nothing like that. Midnight, I can't think anything either, so let's try it, she said while walking up to the bowl full of sand. Midnight, what is this for? She said while looking to the bowl. Uraraka, maybe we need to write it there. Midnight nodded and used her finger to write nothing on the sand. After a moment, engravings on the door partly light up, and the bowl shook itself to erase what Midnight write on it. They all relived that they find the correct answer. However, their relive short-lived as another riddle appeared on the door like before. Hawks, oh great! Another one! Izumi, it will appear before you at any time and any place. It will never let you escape, yet you can never talk to it. As she said, walls start shaking, and giant spikes appeared at the ceiling that coming closer to them each second. Ryuko, great. We have a time limit now. Present Mike, we are gonna die, he said while shaking with his eyes focused on the spikes hanging from the ceiling. Izumi, come on. We need to think something, she said and get all the attention to herself. Ida, I'm not sure but your shadow maybe? Midnight quickly writes shadow on the sand but it was the wrong answer. As the sand shook itself again to clear writing, spikes started coming them faster. She read again and realized what is wrong. Midnight, you moron. How can your shadow appear in darkness? It says any time and any place. Uraraka, we will die. Hawks, I am too young to die. While the ceiling got closer and closer, an answer appeared on Midnight's head. Midnight, I think I got the answer, she said while writing the answer to the sand fast as she can. After she writes the answer, the door's engravings light up again, and the ceiling started going in its place. Everyone sits on the ground while panting, and they all tried to calm down. Present Mike, oh God. I thought we were gonna die, he said while taking deep breaths. Ryuko, yeah, we were so close. Uraraka, at least we are alive, and nothing happened, the brunette said while trying to be optimistic about the situation. After staying on the ground for a minute, they all calmed down and got up so they can finish this mission and go home. Hawks, Midnight, what was the answer? The winged hero asked. His question brought everyone's attention to the R-rated hero. Midnight, you all were actually screaming for it already for minutes, she said while pointing at the sand bowl. Everyone looked at the bowl and saw the word written on it. It was death. After staying silent for a moment, Izumi broke the silence. Izumi, let's take the piece and get the hell out of here, she said while walking inside the room. Present Mike, is that the box we are looking for? The sound hero asked while pointing at the black box standing on a pillar in the middle of the room. Uraraka, I think so. Izumi took the box from the pillar and opened it. There was a white stone-like piece sitting inside of the box that emitted a weak colorful aura. She showed it to the others and smiled. Midnight, not gonna lie, it looks cool. I know some people that pay mountains of money for a necklace or earrings made out of this, she said while looking at the rune piece. While they are celebrating their success, a ghostly figure was watching them silently. When the group got out of the temple, the figure got out of the place he was hiding from as well. It was the chain warden, 𝗧𝗏. He followed them through the temple and make sure that they got out alive from there with the piece. While he is watching Team 2 leaving the island, Izuku's voice filled his head. Izuku, 𝗧𝗏, what happened? 𝗧𝗏, as you foresee, the heroes came to the island and took the piece with them. Izuku, good, your mission is done. You can return now. 𝗧𝗏, my lord, I know you have a plan, but why we let them take the pieces so easily? The 𝗧𝗏 ghost asked the question that bothered him, Karthus and Hecarim the most. Izuku, because it doesn't matter if they get the pieces or not. In the end, I will get all of them anyway. They already lost this war. They just don't realize it yet. 𝗧𝗏, are we gonna raid their place to get the pieces? Izuku, no, they will hand over the pieces themselves, Izuku said as he opened a portal for 𝗧𝗏 to return. Team 3, Asami, Endeavor, All Might, Nizu, all for one. Team 3 got the piece, and now they are walking to the exit of the temple. They didn't have any problems with temple's traps because of Asami and Nizu. All Might was silent for the whole mission. They are technically going through all of this because he didn't see the dark side of Izumi, and he let Izuku's anger towards heroes grow. However, saying that he is sorry will change nothing anymore after everything that already happened. 𝗕𝗏, well, this went easier than I thought, the white-haired villain said with a calm voice. After losing every quirk he had, it took a toll on his already fragile mind. He lost all of his hope and accepted death, and stopped chasing immortality. All Might, why are we still keeping you anyway? He asked with an irritated voice. Asami, because we need every bit of help we can get. All Might, he is a villain. He can't stand the presence of the man who killed his 𝗵𝗃𝗲. Asami, so are you. Now shut up, she said with an annoyed voice. She hated both of them for what they caused. However, when they exit from the temple, their easy mission completely changed as they saw Izuku standing in front of them. All Might attacked instantly. As he saw Izuku, yet it was for nothing as Izuku holds his punch without an effort. Izuku, you never learn, do you? Izuku punched All Might back to the others standing. All Might got up slowly. Endeavor, you are the one who murdered Shoto. Enraged, Endeavor used his strongest flames to attack Izuku. Giant flame wave consumed Izuku. He stopped after a minute of shooting flames and exhausting himself. He fell onto his knees while breathing heavily. Izuku, is that all? Izuku asked with a disappointed tone. He expected more than number 2 hero. Izuku, my turn then. He raised his right hand and shoot bright green flames towards the hero. Endeavor screamed immediately as the flames burned off his skin. 10 seconds later, Izuku stopped and looked at the Endeavor. His body was covered with burns that cannot be healed. He was not dead, but he was severely injured. Nizu, we will not give you the pieces, Izuku, I know you all try to banish us. However, there is a problem with that plan. AFO, what is the problem? Izuku, you gathered all the pieces except for mine, but how do you combine them into one stone again without killing millions? Izuku asked while keeping his calm demeanor. Asami, what? Izuku, don't you ever wonder? How do you all can hold the pieces easily? Why the pieces stay unreactive? Izuku's words silenced them all. The look on their faces confirmed Izuku's thoughts. He laughed. Izuku, from the looks, you all didn't know the truth. Let me explain it to you all. When you broke the Rune of Life into 6 pieces, its power was already fading away. You used it to seal the original Mordekaiser, Vigo, and their armies and stopped the Black Mist. You all used its power too much to recover the damage they left. Rune was nearly empty when you break it into pieces. Normally, it would recover itself in time. However, you sealed them inside the 𝗵𝗃𝗁 temples and used sealing magic to empower the 𝗵𝗃𝗁's ability to drain magic even more. The pieces didn't manage to recover themselves, and their remaining magic slowly burned to nothing in time. After Izuku finished explaining, they all stood silent without hope in their eyes. Izuku, now tell me. How do you think to stop me now? You don't have a lot of time left. Runes are empty. You need to murder millions to supplement enough mana to cast that banishment spell. Even if you murder all of that people, the rune can't be used without all pieces. Nizu, what are you gonna do with the pieces? You can't use them either. Izuku, unlike you all, I can use the souls I collected or the original Mordekaiser and Vigo collected. I am the only person that can pay that price to achieve my goal. Asami, what is your goal? She asked with a hopeless and cold voice. Izuku, you two already seen it before. It should be easy to guess. After a second, Nizu and Asami knew what he was implying. Nizu, 𝗖𝗄𝗔𝗂𝗵𝗄. Izuku, yes, I will destroy the wall that separates this world from my realm and fuse them into one. Izuku confirmed their fear with his words. Asami, it will be thousands of times worse than ruination. Izuku, no it won't. I will bend this world into my will and change this disgusting world to heaven. Everyone will leave their mortal flesh as their souls will transcend and live in their own ideal worlds forever. Izuku, in this new world, everyone will get everything they wish for. They will live happy lives with the people they love without fear. In this new world, no one will lose anything. No one will suffer. No one will feel pain. Everyone will be free from the chains binding them and will be free. Izuku, the only thing standing in the way of everyone's happiness right now is your selfish efforts to bound everyone to this corrupted world. Everyone stayed silent as Izuku ready to leave. They lost all hope and they were thinking about what he said. Before Izuku leaves, he stopped for a second. Izuku, you have a week to think about your choice. You all give me the pieces or I will take them by force. It was fun to see all of you trying to defeat me, but it's time you all woke up. It's all over. Izuku said, and he left them alone. They returned to the UA. They leave the Endeavor to the recovery girl and walked to the room that everyone waiting for them. People in the room saw their faces and decided to ask them. Eraserhead, what happened? Asami, Izuku was there waiting for us, and he nearly killed 𝗕𝗏𝗏. I don't think he will recover from that burns, it doesn't matter anyway. Hawks, we got all pieces, don't we? The only piece that remains is Izuku's. Asami, it doesn't matter. We can't use them anyway even we get them all. She said with a sad voice. Midnight, why? She asked curiously. Nizu, we need mana from somewhere else to use it because all of the mana pieces had is gone. Izumi, how do we get the mana needed then? Asami, humans have mana, but... Eraserhead, but what? FO, required mana is too high that we need to kill millions. Eraserhead, what? Nizu, we don't know it either. We realized it after what Izuku told us. Uraraka, what are we gonna do then? Asami, nothing. We already lost. And lady, we can't give up that easily. Maybe we can find another way. Asami, then good luck to all of you. She gave the piece to the Nizu and left the room. A week later, before the day, Izuku will come to take the stones. Asami was drinking in her home while thinking about the things that happened that day. Izuku's words are repeated in her head while she is sipping her drink. She suddenly felt a presence behind her, but she doesn't need to turn her back to know who it is. Asami, hello, Izuku. What do you want? Izuku, nothing, I came here to talk. He slowly walked near her. He doesn't wear his armor. Instead, he was wearing a black shirt, black trousers, black boots, and a black trench coat. His skin was pale, and his eyes and hair were bright green like his magic. Asami, talk. I thought you did your speech. Izuku, how is 𝗕𝗏𝗏? He asked while ignoring her sarcastic words. Asami, he died a day after you inflicted that burns. Nizu said that he died while screaming and slowly turning to ash for hours. Izuku, it was 𝗧𝗏𝗏's idea. Asami, of course it was his idea. 𝗕𝗏𝗏 was asking about a boy. What happened to him? Izuku, 𝗧𝗏𝗏 took him. When the last I saw him, 𝗧𝗏𝗏 was skinning him while he was conscious. Asami, that 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, she said and took another sip from her drink. Izuku, I found her. Asami, who? Izuku, 𝗫𝗫𝗫. Her killer. Asami stood for a moment and remembered Inko. How she died in her arms. How she failed her. She remembered all the tears she shed after her death. Asami, where is her now? Izuku, why do you want to know? Asami, I want to ask her something. Izuku, she is here already. She raised an eyebrow and turned towards Izuku as a portal opened and Lady 𝗫𝗫𝗫 walked through it. She was changed. Her hair and her eyes were similar colors to Izuku's. Her skin was pale like his skin, and she was wearing dark metal armor. She stopped in front of Asami and looked at her. Asami, why did you do it? Why did you took the woman I love from me? She asked while tears running from her cheeks. 𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫, I had to do it. It was the only way I can save my son. She said while showing her photo with his little son. 𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫, his name was Kazuya, and he was 7. His quirk awakened late, but his body still can't handle it, and it started destroying his body. Asami, then what happened? 𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫, he needed a special surgery, but it was risky and really expensive. I didn't have that much money. Then 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏 came and offered me money for killing her. I didn't want to it, she was my hero as well, but I had to do it. It was for my son, the only person I had. Asami, so you took her life? 𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫, yes, however, after I had done it. 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏 never gave the money, and my son died a month later. Asami stood silent. She can't say anything. Even how much she wanted to get angry at her. How much she wanted to yell at her. 𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫 was doing what she believed she had to do. She looked at her eyes. She can see the pain of losing someone and the pain of what she had done to her and Izuku. Asami, just get out. 𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫 nodded, and turned back as Izuku opened a portal for her to return to the mansion. After she left, Asami looked at Izuku. Asami, so that is why you killed 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏? She asked, and Izuku nodded as an answer. Izuku, I know you can't kill people because of that mark. So I did it for us. Izuku, That is why I want the rune. Look at Nagant. She was used by them, and she did everything to save her family. In the end, she lost her loved one like us anyway. I can change that. I have the power to turn this dying world into heaven. Don't you want to be free? Don't you want to be happy with her again? I can give her back to you. You can spend eternity with her happily. Don't you want that? 𝗬𝗵𝗲 once again stood silent. She doesn't know what to think anymore. Izuku, you have to choose which side you will be on tomorrow. I want to ask this Nizu as well, but he can't return now. He already made his choice. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, what do you mean? Izuku, didn't he tell you? He gathered every people in prisons, house arrests, old people, or villains he gathered thanks to the AFO and killed them all. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, no, he didn't do that. She denied that Nizu took those lives. Izuku, go on. See if you want, I have no reason to lie, especially to you. See you tomorrow. I will be waiting for your answer. Izuku said to her and left as well, leaving 𝗬𝗵𝗲 alone. When the next day arrived, 𝗬𝗵𝗲 walked to Nizu's office, and she learned the truth. Izuku was not lying. She saw the rune on the table, all 5 pieces are intact, and the only one that was missing was Izuku's piece. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, you took all that lives, she yelled at the 𝗎𝙪𝙢 standing in front of her. Nizu, I did what I had to do. We can't let Izuku win. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, that wasn't justified what you had done. Nizu, they were criminals and old people that will die eventually. They can be sacrificed. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, I was bad too, Nizu. I was a villain once too. I can be sacrificed as well too. Nizu, you changed, 𝗬𝗵𝗲. You're not like that anymore. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, they can be changed as well, Nizu. You took their lives. Nizu, I know. I will pay for everything after this whole thing is over. 𝗬𝗵𝗲 without saying a word left the Nizu calmed down after a bit and left to meet with everyone. He saw all the heroes, students, and were waiting. He walked to the table standing in front of everyone and jumped on it. Nizu, everyone. This mission is more important than anything else that came before, as the saying that the world's fate is tied to this mission wouldn't be an overstatement. You should be all informed by now, and you all know of the risk of this mission. As the heroes, we should do this and stop that tyrant before he destroys everything. He said and lead everyone to the location Izuku gave him. The place was inside a forest that turns into an open field. Nizu saw that Izuku's army was already waiting for them, but Izuku and Momo were missing. They stopped, leaving a distance between them and the ghost army of Izuku. 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃, Quirkless, and Nagant came close towards heroes and stopped after for a bit. Nizu walked up in front with all might, 𝗬𝗪𝗏, Hawks, Bakugo, and Izumi. 𝗧, Lord Izuku feels merciful and asks you all to surrender and give the stone. Bakugo, why won't he come here, says that instead of sending his dogs. When he said that, 2 dragons that bigger than in lady's giant form appeared and landed on the ground. Izuku, I'm right here, Bakugo. Izuku, I'm right here, Bakugo. Izuku shouted from the top of the dragons standing on the right. Momo, do you all think that we will give up our chance to destroy you all? She said from the top of the dragons standing on the left. Ryukyu, whoa. 2 real dragons. Midnight, they are huge. Everyone looked with terrified eyes to the enormous dragons standing in front of them. The twin dragons roared at the same time and shook the ground below the heroes. Izuku, give me the thing I want, and this war stops before all of your 𝗵𝗃𝗍 paints these grounds. Nobody can answer him as they tried to hold their ground in front of Izuku's menacing presence. Izuku, fine then. You all have chosen death. He said, and after that, he and Momo said a word in a tongue nobody knows while jumping down from dragons' backs, and the giant dragons started spitting fire at heroes, killing a good chunk of heroes in mere moments. Izuku, kill them all. Izuku shouted as his army started attacking heroes. A giant battle started, and instantly BLD of heroes starts leaking to the ground. All Might, 𝗬𝗪𝗏, Miruko, and Bakugo all attacked Izuku while Momo tearing through heroes with her giant sword. All Might engage with his Detroit smash, and again, Izuku easily caught his hand. All Might tried to throw a punch with his other hand, but it is caught by Izuku. However, this was a distraction as 𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗁 come down from the sky. 𝗵𝗃𝗀, Luna fall, she shouted while kicking Izuku on his face. Bakugo continued the assault with his move. Bakugo flies up into the sky and dropped himself from there while using his explosions to spin in the air with full force. Bakugo, take this. 𝗕𝗁𝙧𝗪. He shouted his special move as well while falling from the sky like a meteor and hitting Izuku. While the smoke covered the ground, they all checked at Izuku to see him on the ground with parts of his armor missing. He was not moving at all and they think they got him. 𝗵𝗃𝗀, is he done? All Might, looks like he is, he said while waving the smoke away with his hand. Bakugo, take that, you nerd. I am the one who takes you down. He laughed Eraserhead, let's go to H. His words cut short when a hand went through his chest as everyone was shocked at what happened. When the smoke more cleared, they saw Izuku standing behind the Eraserhead and his hand holding the hero's heart. He removed his hand and Eraserhead collapsed into the ground. Bakugo, how are you did that you were laying down there a second ago? Izuku, look again. As he said this they turned to see Izuku on the ground was gone. Izuku, it was just an illusion. You all are too weak. Even your combined might can't take me down. Izuku started battling 1v3. He was dodging Bakugo's attacks while countering All Might's punches and 𝗵𝗃𝗀's kicks. 𝗵𝗃𝗀 tried to go for a second Luna fall, but Izuku had enough of her already. When she jumped into the air, Izuku readied himself, and when she was falling from the sky, he quickly pulled his mace and hit her side with full force. From the impact, she coughed up BLD and fly to the side. Spikes of the mace punctured her body, and the impact caused internal bleeding. Bakugo goes to look at her condition. All Might, 𝗵𝗃𝗀. Izuku, don't take your eyes away from your opponent, All Might, he said while punching All Might's face. He pulled All Might closer with his ethereal grasp and punched again and again. Every punch took away All Might's durability by chunks as he started feeling the after effects of using OFA on his body. His already low durability started vanishing even faster as he comes to the point that he cannot protect himself from Izuku's heavy punches. Bakugo attacked Izuku again with his most powerful explosion, but Izuku tanks them all. He drops All Might to the ground. Izuku, All Might is pathetic, and you are even more pathetic than him, Bakugo, he said and grabbed both of Bakugo's arms. Izuku, let's see what happens when you can't use your great quirk. Izuku with his power ripped both of Bakugo's arms at once. Bakugo shouted from the pain of his arms ripped off, and his pain becomes even stronger when Izuku ripped his quirk from him as well. Izuku held Bakugo's head from his hair and removed his helmet coming eye to eye with him. Izuku, I want to do this to you for a long time, he said and used Bakugo's quirk to make a hole in his chest as he did to him before. Bakugo flinched from pain again while coughing up BLD. Izuku, goodbye, Bakugo. You lost. Izuku laughed as he dropped Bakugo, where he died from his wounds. Izuku took the All Might who is about to lose his muscle form and jumped to a place everyone can see them. Izuku, you pathetic mortals. Give up this futile effort and surrender. All Might has fallen. He cannot save you anymore. Izuku manages to break the spirits of most of the heroes with his words. As he finished his words, All Might lost his muscle form completely. Seeing him like that break the spirits of even more heroes as they started to give up. This especially hurt Izumi as she lost her focus when hearing Izuku's words. That was the moment Momo was waiting for a strike. She lunged at her and managed to grab her face, and Momo slammed her to the ground. She used this moment to take away her quirk and shocking her body for a moment. Momo gets her behind and forces her to look towards his father's weak body hanging on Izuku's hand. Momo, let's watch his death together, Izumi, she said with an excited voice and locked her so she can't turn away. Izuku, any last words? All Might. All Might, I'm sorry Izuku. Izuku, you are too late, he said and ripped All Might's head off in front of nearly everyone. He let his body drop to the ground while still holding his head. Izumi cried as she tried to break Momo's hold, but she can't do it. Momo, don't worry, you will see him soon enough, she said while stabbing Izumi with her sword. After 1 hour everything is over now. Heroes lost. Izuku reached at a tired Nizu with his metal hand and raised him up to his eye level. Izuku, didn't I already tell you that would happen? Why did you all resist so much? I thought that telling my motivation to cause all of this maybe can force you to give up. I even told you the cost. To use the rune again, and you paid for it by really killing all of that people. You took all of these lives too, Nizu. Was it really worth the effort you all gave? Nizu gives his answer after thinking for a moment. Nizu, no. Izuku, I thought so too. Goodbye, Nizu. Izuku breaks Nizu's neck, swiftly killing him on the spot. Izuku found the box 5 minutes later in the hands of the Asami. Her hands were bloodied, and she was standing on top of the dead AFO. She managed to kill him, but her mark was damaging her as well. Izuku was impressed, to say the least. Izuku looked at the woman standing in pain. Moments later Momo came as well. After seeing her daughter, Asami slowly handed over the box holding the rune's combined pieces. Momo, thank you, mother. Even without words. She knew what she wanted. Freedom. Momo gave the box to Izuku and pulled her sword. Ruined King Blade was the only thing can break her mark and free her soul. She calmly pierced her heart with the sword, releasing the mark. Momo slowly put her mother to the ground. She smiled, knowing that her time has finally come. Izuku put her hand to her wound. Izuku, rest now. You did well. Also, say hi to her for me. After Izuku finished her words, Asami finally closed her eyes for good, and his soul left his body as her body turns to ash. Izuku and Momo got up and opened the box. They did it. Izuku removes his necklace and pulls out the last piece to complete Rune of Life. Izuku had infinite mana, so he started pouring into the piece as it starts to glow again, and he places the last piece in its place. 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃, Nagant, and Karthus also arrived after he reassembled the rune. 𝗧𝗵, my lord. Is it over? Instead of answering, Izuku shows them the complete Rune of Life. Nagant, so, this is the end. Izuku, yes. It's also the end of your deal as well, Nagant. Izuku put her hand to her head. Nagant, finally. We will be together again, Kazuya. She thought about her son while smiling as her soul left her body, and her body turns to ash like Asami's. Izuku, let's finish this. It is time. Others nodded silently as they all went through the portals to get their locations for the spell. When everyone gets their places, all of them started chanting the spell as the spell is starting to activate. The sky turns dark, and the ground shakes as the Izuku's realm starts merging with the living world. Souls of the people started living their husk as people set free from mortal bodies. After everything is done, 𝗧𝗏, Karthus, and 𝗧𝗏𝗵 leave their corrupted bodies to set free from this world they bounded once again. Merge is done. Izuku's death realm was now fully synced, and everyone was living in their own world forever. Izuku raised everyone's bodies again. Now they all are Izuku's soldiers, at the body at least, but this army wasn't for him. Izuku, you can show yourself now, Aurelian Soul. Aurelian Soul, I can't believe you managed to do it. Izuku, I told you I can do it. They are all yours. They are not strong as Targon Prime soldiers, but they are strong, and with you and their number, you can take your revenge as well. Aurelian Soul, good at long last, I can take my revenge from them for what they did to me. Momo, yeah, good luck with your revenge as well. Aurelian Soul, here, think of these as my gift, the celestial dragon said while giving 2 orbs made of pure energy. Aurelian Soul, these will give you strength. Go explore the cosmos. Look at some of my arts along the way. If you want, you can add some things from yourselves as well. Just don't destroy my work. He said while the orbs embodied themselves into Izuku and Momo's bodies, transforming them into partial celestial dragons. Izuku, we don't. Do not worry, Aurelian. Goodbye. Izuku and Momo raised to the sky as they ready to leave. Aurelian Soul, goodbye, Izuku Momo. Thank you all for your help. They waved at the celestial dragon and left the earth to wander the cosmos, leaving Aurelian Soul to take his revenge from already weak Targonians. 4 years to come, Izuku and Momo wandered the cosmos and looked for a good planet to settle. They never returned to Earth ever again, as probably Aurelian's soul didn't leave anything from it with his anger. Izuku never got angry towards Aurelian because of what he had been through. He was enslaved by them for so many years he finds his thirst for revenge normal. At least he gave them a chance to save as many lives as they can before he obliterates the entire planet. Izuku knew that people won't leave their planet so easily, and they can anger Aurelian's soul even with their actions more. He needed to be a monster to send them somewhere safe and to save much as he can. However, that doesn't change the fact that he still enjoyed making his old enemies suffer and didn't show them mercy, but it doesn't matter anymore. He played his part and he was free now. Forever.